being streamed live on our YouTube channel and a transcript is being recorded. I'm Wendy Gonzalez, which is the BLP committee.
Frank Hall-Zubiak, the other co-chair, just going around the table.
James McDonald, member.
Alan Oster, member.
Inga Ivchenko, member.
Ted Arenas, member.
Jennifer Yuan, member.
Christine Rotig, member.
Thomas Garza, member.
There's a couple of folks online, I think. Carrie?
Carrie Keenan, member.
Mike Noble, member.
Thanks. And we should tell people we're welcoming Carrie to her last BLP meeting. She's leaving BLP committee and will be joining the ACES committee starting in June.
Thank you for your service, Carrie. It's been wonderful working with you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Same.
And we'd like you to take the liquor license complaints with you when you go back to ACES the way they used to. That's okay, right?
We can do that. No problem. No problem.
Yeah. All right. Just a couple other things. We're going to go through the agenda, the order it's printed. There were no changes. As you can see, we have an enormous agenda, and it actually gets more complicated towards the end. So I'd urge both applicants and the committee and anyone speaking from the community to be as succinct as we can, particularly in the early ones. This committee will take a vote at so when each agenda item is called, if you're online on Zoom and want to comment on that application, please use the raise hand function and you'll be moved into the meeting and we'll give you an opportunity to speak. After each agenda item, the committee will take a vote. That vote will then be presented to the full board on June 3rd, which will take its own vote on each of these matters. I stress that anything we do or the full board does is only advisory. We can only make a recommendation. We have no power to grant or deny a liquor license or outdoor dining. And with that, let's get started.
Fantastic. All right. First up in the alteration and method of operating change application section is number 1772 9th Avenue, Monarch 3 Court.
And we have the
Yes. Should we get up and speak?
yeah. I don't
If you
know.
want to come a little bit closer, it should pick you up. Maybe the corner there.
Absolutely.
See
Yeah.
what happens.
Maybe over here.
It's that corner.
There we go.
Okay. There we go. Okay. Welcome.
Hi. So good evening, everyone. My name is Argelio Rodriguez. I'm the attorney for the applicant, Monarch 3 Court DBA and Enoteca. And I'm here with the co-owner, Marco Mateo. He'll speak shortly, but I just wanted to give a brief overview of why we're here and what we're seeking and what's been done. And so this is an alteration application. This is a restaurant. It's not a nightclub. It's a predominantly food-oriented Spanish restaurant, focusing on things like tapas. And they've been licensed for 2 years total now, originally as DBA Moonlight, now as Enoteca, as of about 9 months. And this is an application to extend the licensed premises to the backyard patio space. And it's 10 tables with 20 seats. We've reviewed the stipulations by the community board, and those have been signed off on. The summary is that the proposed method of operation for the outdoor space is a closing time Sunday through Thursday of 10 p.m. and then Friday through Saturday at 11 p.m. And there's been extensive outreach to the neighbors surrounding the space. There's been the notices, the emails to the whole list of neighborhood organizations was sent, and there's been communication, extensive communication with HK 4954 Block Alliance. There's been some communications, and we're available to discuss that in further detail. Marco has been in touch with them. There's been a visit by CB4. There's been a visit as well by the Block Alliance as well to the restaurant, and he can speak further about the outdoor space. And we're open to any questions about the proposal. And Marco, if you want to speak a bit.
Okay. Just two technical things. On the original application, there were two additional steps that said there'll be no live music and the DJ would be limited to brunch hours, 11 to 3 on Saturday and Sunday. Are you okay carrying those over?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, this isn't an attempt to change the method of operation that's printed on the license. But this is just limited to the alteration for the outdoor space.
Yeah.
And the stipulations for the community board are very extensive and are signed off on. There won't be any kind of like amplified music out there, obviously. I mean, that would be ridiculous. It would be limited to background, light background music. And,
Outdoor, outside? Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to talk, as I told you.
Okay.
So we're gonna have to talk about that. So I did go to see it. It's sort of the classic Hell's Kitchen issue. They're in the middle of the block on 9.
Right.
So the backyard sort of abuts, the bottom of the U, if you will, of the courtyards. There's some photos online, and I have a couple here. And they're obviously, tenement buildings on above and both sides. The operator told me he had reached out to the people upstairs, and I guess they at least know you're here.
Yeah, I put notice in all the entrance of the building around.
Mhm.
I passed, like a crazy person, I went to pass all of them, try to speak only one outward. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And there was a lot of back and forth with the 4954 Block Alliance. They asked them to postpone until their meeting at the middle of the end of May. I guess one possibility would be to ask them to attend that meeting, which would be before. But as we talked about, I think music in the rear yard is going to be a problem. It's something we really discourage, because not only, even if the music's quiet, it automatically gets people to talk louder. And then, sometimes the music gets turned up louder and it just becomes a cycle. So I don't think it's a big plus to your operation, and it's potentially a big downside. So just think about that. Well, let's think about that while we talk with the committee and things.
Can you please something about the music? Because I have another patio in the same situation I have another small restaurant in Harlem. I have the same situation. I'm surrounded with buildings. I'm in the middle of the block. First, it's very quiet what we do. It's very different than mostly all the, especially restaurants on this neighborhood. The music we keep very low, and we keep always have music for something in New York is a problem they call rats. If we don't have any noise continuing, little bit, I never have an issue in Harlem, never with any neighborhood, because it's low. It's not place it's not party place. My goal is to become a place where mostly all the crowd come to enjoy the food, enjoy a meal, and that's it. It's not like the volume going
Okay,
higher.
all right. Thanks. I
It's
think
not.
we understand that. Thanks. Anyone, Christine?
Well, the location is very concerning. I don't know whether the neighbors understand that the application is for a patio. Is that written on the?
Yeah, because that's all.
On the notice?
Yeah, this was an alteration, so.
So it said
Right,
patio.
and
So we
you
have,
said
we
that.
have to describe the.
Right. So, I'm personally not comfortable with, this operation in the middle of the back of the building and the bedrooms, etc. It's just having people talk is very loud. And it carries over. So,
Okay, would you be happier with shorter hours, or you think the whole thing is problematic? I mean, they've agreed to our usual hours, which are 10 and 11.
Right.
Shorter hours, it's the non-starter for you. Okay.
Weren't there shorter hours previously?
There was nothing outside. We're talking about outside. They didn't have outside.
No, but I think the prior operator did.
Oh, okay.
There were shorter hours, but they did, at least we gave them the outdoor space, whether it was used or not, I have no personal knowledge. What was it, 8 o'clock? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and again, that was probably about pre-pandemic maybe, or I don't know when the permissions changed.
Letters from 2013.
Oh, okay.
One of these letters.
And then it's 8 o'clock across the board. Okay.
Yeah, I'd be okay.
Okay.
We do have neighbor. Like,
One sec, we'll come back to you.
I'm very uncomfortable with any music
Okay,
Yeah,
because even if it's low, the bass will vibrate through the other buildings, and we don't let normal stores have their doors or windows open where music comes out, so to actually have formidable outdoor
Yeah.
things really.
okay. You want to see if there's anyone?
Or Carrie.
Carrie, is it your hand raised?
I think that just answered one of my questions, which was I couldn't understand what the answer was to the question about music, but that they wanted music, but we're saying we don't. Is that right?
They want music. I had reservations. Jen is opposed to music.
Yeah.
I'm opposed.
I would agree. I would agree. No music. And then also, I'm a little confused by the block association's letter. So the block association is not approving this or is not, supportive of this application.
They knew about it. They asked the applicant to postpone to attend their meeting. And the applicant wanted to move forward. We did get a late breaking letter. Let's see if I can find that. From someone who I think is a member of the block association. Yeah, do you have that?
That is from
Oh, okay.
the
Yeah,
response to.
Okay, all right, okay.
Right, and if I could just add, the last communication with the fund, with Alliance, the final question was, we would also request keeping the patio area free of all amplified music out of consideration for neighbors, which implies that their issue is focused on amplified music. And that's their word. That's
We
their
don't
question.
want to imply anything.
Yeah.
We want you to talk to them
Well, we can do that.
and cover everything with them.
Yeah, my issue is that we can do that concurrently. You know, they need to move this along. These processes take significant time with the SLA, and they're literally on the brink of economic collapse. I have a landlord tenant case pending with them. I'm sure you
Okay,
can see it.
let's wait 1 sec, okay. Is there anybody else?
Nelly, do we have any other hands raised online?
No, there's no one with the raised hand.
Okay, so in your prior steps, there was a stipulation that there wouldn't be use of the outdoor space. So at that time, there was definite concern about using it, and we wouldn't have taken that step.
Yeah.
So you're right, I'm a little uncomfortable going forward without them taking a position. I mean, one thing we could do, well, first of all, will you agree to no music? Will you agree to no music?
Yeah.
Okay. One thing we could do is approve conditioned on 4954 not opposing it. And if they oppose it, then we give you the choice of coming back next month to a meeting or having our vote be denial. What do you think about that?
And the
And then the hours. I mean, I think 8 is a little,
9.
what do people think about
I-
it? Generally, yeah. But
10 on weekends.
And I would just make our decision and take the input and not make the full determination going on the block association.
I agree with you.
But what you mean vote?
I don't think we should be waiting for the block association to make a decision on this. I think that the board needs to make that decision.
So if we get strong opposition from the block association, you discuss it at the full board.
Yes.
I guess we could do that. Okay.
Their meeting is the 27th, full board's the 3rd. So that gives it, you guys should attend the 27th meeting of the Alliance, then.
You'll have a meeting.
Full board, yeah,
So the hours could be 9 and 10, right?
I'm comfortable with
I would do 10 Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Okay. People,
Yes.
anybody want more, anybody want less?
No, but 9 the other days, right?
9 and 10. But All right, so it looks like if you want to talk about it, we can take another applicant or two.
No, it's fine. Wherever you can give out, is a bless.
Okay, so it would be, the rear yard would have to be closed and vacated at 9 PM, Sunday to Wednesday, 10 PM, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And no music. Okay, and just so you understand, so we're gonna vote on this now. Our recommendation will go to the full board. But if we get strong opposition from the block association, we will discuss it at full board. And the full board always has, people here may change their mind, even at the full board and how they vote. So bear that in mind, and you can check in before full board. We'll let you know what they said and whether we think you should come to the full board.
And upon having an update from the Black Alliance, do we communicate that to Nelly or someone?
Well, we'd ask, they're very good. They will, I just ask them to send us their usual email about their view.
All right, any other questions or comments? Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion.
Is there a second? Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All those abstaining? Carrie, I didn't hear you vote.
Oh, I think that's because Mike overtook me. I said aye. Sorry.
Sorry.
Thank you. There's no in sync here, your last BLP meeting. Okay, great.
Okay,
That's unanimous.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much.
and so you'll reach out to the 4954 about
Absolutely.
attending
We'll tell them,
their
yeah.
meetings. That's very important.
All right, next up is 506 9th Avenue, Tip Claire LLC.
Hello.
Hi, Sherry.
Hi, how are you?
Go
Hello,
ahead.
I'm fine, thanks.
Sorry about that.
Sarah, it's okay.
So this application is to change the method of operation by increasing the closing hours to 4 a.m. The premise is DBA Cooper's, which is at 506 9th Avenue. It's between 38th and 39th Street. They've been in operation for 16 months, just short of 16 months. A lot of their customers leave at 2 a.m. to go to the nearest place because they're open at 4 a.m. and they just want to be able to compete fairly with the other taverns that are in the area. If you have questions and specifics as to why, my client is here and will gladly answer them. But that's essentially what this application just comes down to. They're looking to increase their hours.
Right. So Christine, maybe you remember, looking at the prior steps, this was one we had a lot of resident concerns over.
So,
The
yeah,
kitchen ventilation, looks like even sort of where the ventilation was and all sorts of things.
Yeah.
so I received a phone call from one of the residents, Laszlo, who is in this
Yeah.
building. And he has a few complaints about the noise and the music and the bass, which is, he lives on the 4th floor and he can hear it, and he has been going down and talking to the operator regularly, I would say. And I have myself a lot of, aggravation with the sandwich board. They have 2 or 3 sandwich boards, which are regularly in the middle of the sidewalk. And no matter how much you tell them, they don't do it. So these are the 2 complaints we have.
Okay. But as far as we know, the kitchen thing has been taken care of, and no more amplified sound on the sidewalk.
Right.
Mm.
So, Terry, obviously, if there's noise problems with indoor sound with the residents above, they're only going to get worse if it's continued for 2 hours more. So I don't know what.
But just in fairness, I know Christine has just told you about a complaint, but we haven't gotten any other complaints from anybody else in the building. We haven't gotten any violations. Kieran, have you gotten complaints from any of the other residents?
No complaints. The complaint in question from Laszlo, who lives on the 4th floor, was right after we opened first and we addressed it, and we haven't heard from anyone since.
So 2 things. Are there residents on the other 3 floors?
Yeah.
Like full-time residents that's not empty or Airbnb or anything? There are people who live, there are
Well, the
people,
one just above them is empty right now.
Okay.
Just the people-
2nd floor.
The people left,
Okay,
and I don't know.
all right. And has Laszlo been down to talk to you since that first time, or?
No, sir, I haven't spoken or seen him since that first issue we had. We haven't seen each other since.
Anything else from the,
Any 311s?
we haven't.
So I'm,
And ju-
on this
So-
stretch, I don't think we have other 4 o'clock. And there are now, new buildings across the street. I think next door is like 3 o'clock. I would be comfortable with 3 o'clock.
Okay. I want to see if there's anyone.
Nelly, do you have anyone online?
No, there's no one with a raised hand.
Terry, what do you think about 3 o'clock?
I think I have to ask my client. Hold on one sec. Kieran, how do you feel about 3 o'clock?
I'm fine with it, absolutely. It still would probably be a case where some of the customers would leave and go to our competitor next door, which is Scallywags, who have a 4 a.m. 7 days a week. Would we be possibly able to do 4 a.m. on a Friday, Saturday?
I'd be okay with that.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah. And Scalawags does have 4 a.m.
Why Thursday?
We usually include that for the weekend.
Yes, I mean,
It's a Friday, Saturday. Let's do
Okay.
Friday, Saturday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So let's do Friday, Saturday 4.
Scallywags does have 4 across the board.
Okay. All right.
And it is an Irish bar competitor, so.
So just so I have it right,
Well,
so
why
it's- you're.
Hey, we're still talking about it, Terry.
Oh, I'm
One
sorry.
sec.
I'm sorry. I thought you reached a conclusion.
Friday and Saturdays,
No, 4.
4.
Yeah. Right, Terry, so the proposal is Friday and Saturday until 4 a.m., Sunday to Thursday till 3 a.m. And then I would just want to copy the prior steps that say no music on the sidewalk and no use of the rear yard, the courtyard, or the air shaft, which were just prior steps from before.
That's perfectly
Okay.
acceptable. That's perfectly acceptable.
Okay.
So can we ask the applicant what they're going to do about their sandwich board?
Sure.
Kieran,
Terry, did you do that?
Kieran, the sandwich boards are presenting a problem. Can you deal with those sandwich boards?
Yes, absolutely. We'll take care of it right away.
Well, wait, what
do
is
you mean by
dealing,
yes?
what is dealing with them mean?
I'll remove them, put a notice in the window as opposed to on the sidewalk for our menu.
Okay.
You can lean them up against the building. You just can't have them in the middle of the sidewalk.
Okay.
And not 3 of them.
Yep.
Okay. We good, take a vote?
Any other questions? Otherwise, entertain a motion? Motion. A second? All those in favor?
I
Aye.
beat you to it, Mike.
Opposed?
I waited.
That passes. Thank you very much.
Frank?
Yes, yeah.
I also have number 18. Is there any way you could call that?
Sure. That one's, I think, pretty straightforward. Is it complicated, Barry?
Not as far as I know. We've spoken to the neighbors already and all the notices were posted, all the emails went out. We gave information to the one individual that responded to the emails.
All right, I'll tell you, Terry, the only tricky thing is
Yep.
if people from the community read our agenda and want to speak, they might fairly conclude they don't have to show up until 7:30 or 8 o'clock. I'm okay, I don't know, Wendy, what do you think? I'm okay doing it, but if we have community members that come on at 8 and wonder what happened to it, that's gonna be troubling. Nellie, can you see if there's anyone online who wants to speak about
867 9th Avenue.
agenda item 18? Is there anybody, if anyone on Zoom wants to speak on 867 9th Avenue, agenda item 18, please raise your hand. I mean, it was licensed before.
Yeah. Till just recently.
Okay. Nellie, anyone raise their hands?
No, no one's raising their hand.
Okay. I guess we'll go ahead and do it. Terry, will you be answering your phone for the next couple hours?
You have my cell and I will answer it.
Okay. Your cell is what's on the application?
Hold on.
Just text it to me.
Yeah, no
Is it
problem.
in? Okay. All right, you're doing it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna do agenda item 18 now. Go ahead, Terry.
Okay. This is the application of 26 Fools LLC, DBA Ship of Fools at 867 9th Avenue between 56th and 57th Streets. The hours of operation are 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. 7 days a week. There's a capacity of 144, 30 tables, 76 seats, one bar with 12 stools. They are going for a sidewalk cafe, which would be 12 tables and 24 seats in front of the premise. All postings have been done and emails sent to the relevant block associations. There was communication. I will let my client go into that because he dealt with that directly. You have a menu attached to the packet. Food will be available to 1 hour prior to closing, at which point we'll stop taking orders so we can fill them by the time everybody has to be out. There is one correction on the application. I noted the 500-foot rule does apply, okay? It is background music. The operator is experienced and has been licensed at the Liberty, Ship of Fools, the Australian. So you have a very qualified operator here, and we'll answer any other questions you have with regard to this application.
Terry, just to get one thing out of the way, is I think you've heard this from us. We feel we can't do the DOT sidewalk cafes
Until they're approved.
Right, so I'd like to eliminate it from this application and you'll come back for an alteration at the proper time.
That's fine. I just wanted you to know they were doing it because the question asked, do you intend? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the intent, but we're going on page 2. I'm going to cross out the.
That's fine. That's fine. We realize that we have to get DOT approval first.
Okay, that's all I have.
Other questions from the committee? Nellie, do we have anyone online?
No, there's no one.
Entertain a motion.
Motion.
A second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Mike? There, Mike?
So Terry, in the unlikely event someone from the community shows up later on, I'll give you a call.
Yeah, let me give you my cell number to make sure you have it. If it take 2 seconds, 917.
Well, I'm not sure you necessarily want to do it on here. Is it the one that ends in 1000?
No, that's the office. You wouldn't get me. So just take this down and you can call me 917.
Yep.
913.
Yep.
4974.
Okay. Thanks.
No, thank you. Thank you. Everyone have a very nice Memorial Day holiday.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Let me chime in, Frank. I had to step to the front door. Vote yes.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
Thank you all.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, we are back.
Thanks for everyone's patience for letting us do that out of order. We would extend similar courtesies if you guys ever have multiple applications.
All right, so then we are now on to our new wine, beer, and cider license application section. Number 3 is 158 8th Avenue, Starkstone Capital LLC.
Hi, this is Giulia Sambugava. I'm the attorney for the applicant who is here as well online, Simone Viola, with his wife, Chiara. And so this is for, excuse me, for a small restaurant on 158th 8th Avenue between 18th and 17th Street. It's almost at the corner with 18th Street. The idea is to have an Italian restaurant, quiet. The DBA is gonna be bar lento, which means slow bar. And the hours of operation are gonna be from 11 a.m. every day to 10 p.m. weekdays, Friday and Saturday, 11 p.m., with the kitchen closing a little bit earlier, like about half an hour earlier. There's a capacity of 47 people. There are gonna be 16 tables and 2 stand-up bars. There's also a patio. The patio is part of it, it's covered, part of it, it's uncovered. And we have reached out to all the community neighborhood associations. We had a reply from the 100 and 200 West 18th Street Block Association. They were happy about this new opening. They didn't raise any concern. They were just asking question on when it's gonna be open and so on. And Simone and his wife, they also reach out to community members in the block, in the area. They spoke also with few people in the same buildings. Nobody raised concern because, again, it's a small place, background music only, and with very limited hours of operation. Like they're gonna be closing pretty early. Simone is Italian. They are Italians. They have experience in investing in restaurants in Italy, and they are like exciting to start this new venture in the US. And they will be helped for the menu by a chef that has been like an expert in like several restaurants around the world, even in New York City at Casa Level, and then in Italy, in Paris, and in Sweden. So if you have any
Thanks.
questions, we are here to answer.
Yeah, so your form's a little inconsistent about whether there's going to be music in the rear yard, but you're not going to have any music back there, right?
Background.
Just
If it's okay, just like
no,
soft
as
background
you,
music.
if you were listening, we don't like background music in
Yeah,
backyards.
I tried.
So we're gonna change the form on page 4 where you ask for that and just say no music. And the other thing which I think you agreed to is that all the rear yard service has to be seated patrons.
Yes,
No one's
absolutely. Yeah, and just one question. Since this backyard is half it's covered, it's not like it's kind of enclosed, but not
Now,
really enclosed.
Wendy went to see it, so she'll tell us about it.
No, just if in the enclosed part there can be a little bit of music, the background music, and not on the outside.
Nice try. As one of our committee members, Jen, pointed out, we even want people to keep the doors to the outside closed when there's music fully inside. So it's not just you, it's something we try to get everyone to do.
No, absolutely.
I visited this space. It's a small space, the outdoor area. The majority of the seats are enclosed, but it's not fully, these aren't safe as you know, have any structural walls. So I think the numbers make sense. And then in the full outdoor area, they're really going to put up 3 tables. It's not big at all. And it sounded like my conversation that they've done a lot of outreach.
And we, in fact, in 2001, we approved it with the rear yard use for the prior applicant. So I think without the music and our usual hours.
And those steps for the prior was no outdoor music.
No standing.
10.
No bar, yeah.
Right, and then 10 p.m. Sunday through Thursday and 11 p.m. Friday and Saturday.
So it looks like you are going to have a vestibule inside the restaurant. That's what you said on your application on page 4, right? Page 5.
Page 5. Can you please repeat the question? Sorry.
Will applicant have a vestibule within the establishment?
Yes.
And you say yes, right?
Yes, like this is, sorry, I mean, this must have come from the architect. Let me ask Simone. Simone, can I translate it into Italian?
Ok,
Just alla domanda se ci sarà un vestibule,
che sarebbe?
che sarebbe una sorta di piccola entrata dentro al building, quindi qualcosa che...
Ah, quella...
La staffon
No,
no?
quando hai l'entrata del locale, di fare un'altra porta.
Eh?
O sì,
da-
esatto, una piccola
Ah,
entrata.
ok, sì, si
Ci
può
sarà o
fare.
no?
Sì, sì, sì,
Non
ne
c'è?
stavamo
Ne
Ah,
stavamo
ok.
no, ne stavamo
parlando.
parlando oggi con la Lucia, con l'architetto di
Okay,
questa
so
cosa.
yeah, they confirmed that they discussed this with the architect and they had the idea of creating an additional sort of entry like way.
So since you're going to do that, you don't need a storm enclosure, which is the next line,
So the storm enclosure are those,
is outside, right?
those outdoor plastic
Mhm.
things you
Right.
put on the sidewalk.
So
Okay,
you don't need that.
So
okay,
we can
perfect.
get rid of that.
Okay,
So
and in case they're not gonna do the vestibule, we're making sure that they're gonna be there's gonna be the other the storm enclosure. Is that okay for you or not?
Well, we prefer not,
Right.
but,
Okay.
And if,
That's fine.
yeah,
Then we are
okay.
gonna do the vestibule. It's okay.
Great.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the committee? Nellie, do we have any hands raised online?
No, there's no one.
Entertain a motion? All those, or is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Passes, good luck. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye bye. Have
Thank
a
you.
like great session. Bye bye.
Thank you, bye.
No, chiudere.
No.
All right, next up is number 4, 194 8th Avenue, KB Grocery.
Good evening. I'm filling in for Mr. Park. My name is Andy. I'm here to represent KB Grocery Inc., doing business as Chelsea Organic Market. This was formerly known as Jeannie's Deli, who carried a off-premise beer license. We're looking to apply for a restaurant wine license. So we're looking to optimize the full use of our salad bar, hot steam table to serve full kitchen menu items. Our hours of operation will be 24 hours, but our alcohol hours will be limited to 11 a.m. to 4 a.m., 7 days a week. Our tables, we only have 4 tables, 8 seats total. We will only be having background music, but most of the time there may be no music, but just in case I added for background music. And the owner of this business, Amit Kumar Patel, he's also the owner of a Trisha Deli in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. So he does have 1 year experience. This is going to be his second establishment. Any questions?
4 tables?
Yeah.
8. No, 8.
4 tables, 8
8 seats.
seats. 2 tables, 4 tables with 2 seats.
So the customer spend 32 hours.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have anything on this one. Anybody?
Oh, good.
Anybody online, Nellie?
So,
No, there's no one.
is it a deli? Like
Yeah,
a
we've had
grocery
a
store?
few of these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be most likely a deli operation, but we want to serve. There were steam tables, salad bar tables that weren't optimized by the prior owner. We want to use it and allow some customers to enjoy a cup of wine while enjoying their meal. But most of our business will be primarily takeout.
Yeah, it's on the avenues.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Great. Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good luck. Next up is item number 5, 211 7th Avenue, Sushi Ushizora.
Frank, are you on? Or anyone from the applicant? Ellie, is Frank Palillo on?
I see his name is there. See him twice. I think he's trying to unmute.
Okay, let's give him a sec.
Hi guys, sorry about that.
Hi there.
How are you? It wasn't the muting. I couldn't get the video to work for some reason. But I'm here in all my
We had
glory.
our
How are
own
you all?
technical problems, so you're excused.
I know you have a heavy calendar, so I want to do this as quickly as I can. Is my client on, Nelly? Kevin Leanne?
I just saw someone wave their
Frank,
hand.
yes. Hi, Frank. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
This is Kevin.
Camera?
Yes.
Camera, Kevin?
1 second. I'm having difficulties too. So.
Right,
Hold on.
just go ahead.
Okay, guys, real
Right.
easy. Sushi restaurant, no outdoor seating, 11:30 at night, 7 days a week, wine and beer license only. Kind of a no-brainer, but that's not my place to say.
Yeah. And previously licensed as another sushi restaurant. I don't have anything.
Anybody have anything? Nelly, do we have anyone online?
No, there's no one with the raised hand.
We'll entertain a motion then.
Motion. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I think that passes. Thank you.
Thank you,
Good luck.
guys. See you in 2 cases.
Thank you.
Okay.
Next up is item number 6, 177th Avenue, Gordian Knot, GRA.
I'm back. So
Hi
I'm also
there.
studying this case. So we actually met on November 18th meeting. This was originally going to be a 24-hour diner to replace Malibu Diner that was on 163rd West 23rd Street. However, the owner, as he was renovating, he decided to change his operation and now wants to operate as a Greek restaurant. Closing hours will be from Monday to Thursday, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. Fridays and Sundays, 9 a.m. to 4 a.m. We are also looking to add live music to the first floor space only. Live music will be generally on weekends, but hours will be no later than 11 p.m. We're looking to be licensed both on the first floor and second floor. We were told to get the sound engineer acoustic report, which is still being worked on, but we do have photos that just submitted like an hour ago, last minute, that the soundproofing is being installed right now as we speak. We will have total of 33 tables, 88 seats. First floor will be 13 tables, 36 seats. Second floor will be 20 tables, 52 seats. And as promised, the SLA application has not been filed yet, but because we are looking to open in the end of July, I'm here to re-meet with the committee board and get the approval.
Okay. The prior application you mentioned, did that go so far as to be heard by this committee, or was it just something you filed?
It was, I believe, it was heard. And I believe
Okay.
there was a recommendation made by the committee board to get the acoustic sound report, which we are still
All right.
working.
Do you remember what hours we agreed to at that time?
I
Nellie,
believe-
I take it, did you find this, Nellie, a prior application? What's my first, but, right, but I wonder what the liquor.
I'm
what the
sorry.
total-
We're on 177th Avenue.
Yeah, they said they came to us a few months ago for a 24-hour license, a 24-hour diner. Does that sound familiar?
No, it does not, but I'll take a quick look
Maybe
right
I
now.
have the date wrong, but I can confirm.
All right, so on the live music, you said it'll cease no later than 11 p.m.
Yes.
It'll be limited to the first floor.
Yes. And
Okay.
it will be generally,
What kind of music do you plan to have?
it will be generally acoustic music, guitars, and then there was I forgot the name, but it was a special Greek instrument.
Yeah,
But
can we say it'll be limited to 4 musicians, is that all right?
Yeah, it won't be a big band or anything like that. It'll most likely be solo or duelist, but maybe
Is
maximum.
4 is 4 reasonable?
Yes.
Okay.
Was there live music in this space before?
Prior space was actually a nail salon.
Yeah.
And what's above it?
Well, the live music's gonna be on the first floor, and they have the second floor too.
Yes,
So they're not
and
gonna have
the whole space is being soundproofed.
4 people in a band can go up 10 floors vibrating through the building, FYI.
Right, but you said you're getting an acoustic report, right?
Yes, we're working on the acoustic report. I just submitted photos that soundproofing is being installed. We're trying to minimize any sound leakage.
Okay, but are you actually getting the report from an acoustic engineer?
Yes, the pictures I submitted was also along with an email from the engineer himself. He says that once all the soundproofing is installed, he will generate the report and submit those. And based on the owner's work.
Will you be able to get us the report in the next 2 weeks or so?
I believe so, because the owner told me he can get it next week. So 2 weeks should be
okay.
Game.
Allie, when do we need an acoustic report?
Sorry, I was having trouble unmuting. I will need it by the 27th.
27th. Okay.
Can you do that?
I'll make him get it. Yes.
And Frank,
So
I
we
don't
got,
have any approved steps for this location from last year.
Okay, did you find anything?
No, but he said he came, but he left.
Yes.
They don't-
Okay, I misunderstood.
Right.
You just came and told us.
Right, we said we need the
Yeah.
sound report, and they left.
Got it,
There was
okay.
no decision.
There was no agreement, but we were just postponed.
Got it, okay, thank you, I misunderstood. So Ingo, what do you think about live music?
Well, we are giving a previously unlicensed, we've had, we talk about that whenever we give a previously unlicensed alcohol space a new license in an overly saturated area. It's on the avenue. There are a lot of liquor places around it. Do we want to give them live music and liquor till 4 a.m. out of the blue? I mean, we've always questioned that.
That's why that's why I wanted to know how far things had gone before.
They didn't.
They didn't go at all.
No. And it was a Malibu diner type place that we were going to be looking at.
But could they limit they are going to limit the music to 11 o'clock?
11 o'clock, first floor only, no more than 4 musicians.
And they have the second floor.
And they have the second floors above.
But I mean, there is the soundproofing.
Yes.
Obviously, that
I
doesn't
mean,
use
we need a lot of, there are people upstairs. Yeah. And
And we
if
asked
I,
them to do
if
the
I
test.
play a 4-piece band in my apartment, the 17th floor is going to hear it. Everybody's gonna hear it. I've
Speaking
done
of
it
the
before.
people upstairs, I'm just wondering if you actually reached out to the people, because I don't see any, I don't see any
Neighbors.
postings. I don't see any listing of anyone that you might have reached out to, like in terms of neighbors next door, neighbors above.
Yes. So postings, we actually applied posters in front of our front door and around the corners around the premises. We never got any communications, but we also, Alex, he's actually been working on reaching out with the residents upstairs. I gave him a generic petition form from a different community board, and I told him to get some signatures, let them know what you're going to be operating as, and try to get some support. So hopefully, when I get the sound acoustic report, I can submit those petitions as well.
So
Did
petitions.
you send,
I'm against
Sorry.
4 a.m.
all right, go ahead, Karen.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, petitions are not the best. I mean, you can go ahead and get the petitions, and that's great, but they're not the best form of community outreach for us. It's actually, block associations, letters from the people who live above that they're okay with live music till 4 a.m., things like that.
Try to
Yeah,
have them
because
get some
petitions are sort of,
Right,
yeah.
that's fine.
All right.
It's the 4 a.m. liquor license out of
So
the blue.
let's deal with the notice issue first. Did you send did your client or you send emails to all the people on our
The block
email list?
association list, yes.
Yeah, you did do
I
that,
did.
okay.
And I didn't get a response back yet.
All right, 1 second, okay, Jen,
So I'm on that block,
yeah.
on Block Association. And I know they didn't circulate it, so they may have sent it, but like they usually circulate anything that's in anywhere around, and we haven't gotten it. And that's no fault of his, but like, just letting you know, it is not a busy corner. It is a quiet corner. The restaurants that are around there close at very reasonable hours. So that's a nice block. So even though it's on, I think originally when we were saying Malibu Diner, a diner at 4 a.m. is very different from a restaurant at 4 a.m., which I'm concerned because it says here that the table service thing is checked off, and 4 a.m. with table service, with live music, makes me nervous.
The 4 a.m. makes me nervous out of a place that's never
Yeah.
had any liquor ever.
But it's 2 a.m., it's 4 a.m. what?
Fridays to Sundays only.
Okay,
I wouldn't do 4
And the
a.m. at
other
all.
days are what?
2 a.m.
2 a.m.
2 a.m.
So what do you think of
2 a.m. across
2
the
a.m.
board.
across the board? Or is 2
I
a.m.
wouldn't
too late?
do that on the weeknights and stuff.
Well, on the avenues, we generally are okay with 2 a.m. So, I mean, at least I would start with a
Should be, oh, wait,
1 a.m.
were you with 1 a.m. and 2 a.m.? Is that better or?
Can we do 2 a.m. across the board and come back next
Hold
year?
on, yeah, hold on 1 second.
Yeah, I would do, people work. I mean, it's a residential area. I would do maybe one Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and give them 2 a.m. Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
How's that? 1 a.m. Sunday to Thursday, Sunday to Wednesday, 2 a.m. Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Can I push for 2 a.m. across the board?
We discussed that. It looked like anybody support 2 a.m. across.
Even
No,
though
Because the other
the
bars are,
bar 2 doors down,
Yeah.
Bar Below J is open on night. And then 1:30.
All right, no, it looks like there's no support for 2 a.m. across the board.
Okay, so so Sunday to Thursdays I'll take the 1 a.m. and then Friday, Saturdays will be 2 a.m. and then after a year I'll probably come back.
You're always welcome to do that, but we want some operating history, not a year from today, a year from when you've been open and behaving yourself.
So I'm not sure if this was mentioned, but this is the same owner of Malibu Diner. This is Alex. So you know how he operates his
Very
he's doing something different.
That's a
He's
very different.
doing it
that's
as a
on-
whole different
Yeah.
model.
That's
Okay.
on 23rd.
All right, so just to summarize, the closing hours will now be Sunday to Thursday, 1 a.m., Friday and Saturday, 2 a.m.
Okay.
Live music will be end no later than 11 p.m. Be limited to the first floor. Live music limited to no more than 4 musicians. And you'll submit an acoustic report and agree to follow it. Submit it to the board office by May 27th.
Frank, can
You
we
okay with all
add,
that?
Frank, can we add that, we get like some real concrete evidence that they've reached out to the people who live above them, because this
And
idea,
acoustic testing above.
Well,
Yeah,
I just
we
want to
will
make
use
sure
the-
that they've talked to the neighbors, because I'm not sure. Keep hearing like we're in the process. So I would like to know by full board that they have done that and they're in support.
Well, or not.
Super soundproof.
So how would you, I mean, people don't necessarily write affirmative support. How do we, can you send us some kind of,
Emails that they've
Testimony.
sent out, if, just that there's nothing in the application that I saw, unless I missed it, that
So-
they've sent out emails to the neighbors, to the
well, no,
block
they
association.
did say just now that they sent it out to our usual list.
So then
And
can
I
you
will say, I did
attach
just-
that to your application?
I will.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah,
Because
and I
that
did
means that
receive-
nobody responded, which is perfectly fine.
Wendy, what were you gonna say?
I did receive an
Mhm.
email, I think,
I
as
did
a
too.
neighbor, so I think because I'm on whatever list was sent, I received it, so. I think
Okay, so-
it was done.
Yeah, can you, just send us the email, you sent out to everybody? Not every copy, but the email with the distribution list?
Yes.
Okay,
And what about the sound testing with the people above?
Yeah, they need sound.
I guess we have to, let's see, that, we'll see what happens.
I mean, the thing that's confusing
can't
about that is
test it,
because
right?
they're
You have
already
to just-
doing it without the report.
Right,
Yeah,
which is very.
So what would you
Which is
suggest?
why we sent them away the first time.
yeah.
What would you suggest? We gotta move on. What
I
would you
think that
suggest?
they need to submit the report
Before,
finalized before.
yeah, before our
Or-
board.
Yeah, they already agreed to do that by May
Right.
27th.
And we want to ask them to do a test with the people above.
Okay, can
Well, I
you,
don't know if they can do that with the live band. You can't test.
No, you can, they have machines to
Yeah.
test the,
they can mimic.
mimic the amount. So since their acoustician has said
Okay,
that
so-
they were going to do a test,
Yeah.
next week, why don't you ask them to do it?
Yeah,
with
so
the
Andy,
people above?
can you make sure the acoustic person does some if you can get access to the people above, do some, and I take it they haven't done this yet, or have they?
No, not the test yet. They're still soundproofing.
Okay, so have them do have them do the test from some of the upstairs residents' apartments, okay?
We'll try. Yes.
Well,
No trying, you have to.
at least, or you'll have to show you asked them and they wouldn't let you
Yeah,
ask.
yeah, because of that reason. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there are residential people who don't want them in.
Any other questions, comments? Nelly, do we have anyone online?
No, there's no one.
Entertain a motion? Second? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Anyone opposed? It passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next up is number 7, 407 West 15th Street, aka 75 9th Avenue, Stand West LLC.
This one, we got new steps for.
Hello again.
This. Hi, okay.
Frank, go for it.
Is it in Chelsea?
No.
Downstairs.
Frank, come in.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
I've got 2 clients who need to get on. Paul Talia. Michael. Oh, they're together. Look at that.
Okay, let's go, Frank.
All right, guys. This is currently licensed as Chelsea Music Hall. Michael, say hello. You're muted. Unmute.
Hello, how are you?
He's operated the space for how many years, Michael?
Since 2018, this particular space.
And in this application, we're creating a partnership with The Stand. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the comedy club called The Stand. It's been around for, Paul, 20 years yet?
14.
14 years.
You know.
And we're planning to do a comedy club at the location.
Okay, is this in Chelsea Market?
Yes.
Okay. And so you're currently occupied, and do you have live music and a DJ currently?
We previously had we were a variety as requested by the landlord. They wanted a variety of music and comedy, etc. That most of our live music was like record label showcases. We didn't have a lot of.
But your license included live music.
Oh
and
yes,
DJ.
yes, it did. That's just the use clause included that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Any questions? Nelly, do we have anyone online?
No, there's no one.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Mike? Back. All right, that passes. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Want to get props for bringing
Thank you.
2 easy one on your busy night? Have a good night, folks. See you next month.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, guys, I'm back. Aye.
You approve, Mike? Great, thank
Yes.
you.
Okay.
All right, next up, item number 8 is 30 Hudson Yards, floors 14 and 15 for Compass Group USA Inc.
Okay. So they're actually like, yeah, although they're two different applicants. So I think we need to hear a little more about the distinction between the two, but they're all in the same building, it appears. All right.
If you're from 30 Hudson Yards, 14 and 15.
Hi.
Hi, Amanda
Okay.
Taylor is here, representing the applicant.
Okay. Are you doing all agenda items 8 through 12?
8 through 13, I think.
8 through 13, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you want to do one at a time? You want to tell us as a group what's happening?
So agenda number 8 and 11 are in the same building. They're both catering establishments for Wells Fargo. So it's only just going to be corporate dining events that are taking place. Agenda number 8, that one is for floors 14 through 15. And item number 11 was for floor 65. And so these are just for catered events that are taking place, you know, the employees of Wells Fargo and their invited guests. It shouldn't really impact the community at all. Most of the people attending these events are just people that work in the building for events there, so.
And what is Compass Group a catering company or?
Yeah, they're like a food and beverage provider for corporate dining facilities.
Okay, so this would be 8 and 11.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. You have any questions about 8 and 11?
Nelly, do you have anyone online?
There's no one with a raised hand.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And that's for 8 and 11.
Yes.
Okay, next.
I guess if you want to do.
Sorry, wait, Mike, one second. Mike, how'd you vote?
Yeah, put my hand up. Yep.
Great.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, what's next?
If you want to do 13 next, that's also Wells Fargo building.
Okay.
It's just a different address. The only issue is I think there was an error on the agenda. It says Restaurant Associates LLC, but it should actually be Compass Group USA Inc. And also it said floors 5 through 7, and we had amended it to make it just floors 5 and 6.
Okay, yeah, that is with the STIP form we have, so that'll control over the agenda.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so this is the same thing, corporate dining, catered events.
Okay.
Any questions? Nelly, anyone online?
There's no one.
Motion.
All right, so for item 13, motion, second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, great. That passes as well.
Okay, I guess the next one would be 9 and 10 are for Restaurant Associates LLC. Same thing, a catering establishment for a corporate dining facility is for Warner Brothers. The one application is the 23rd floor at 30 Hudson Yards, and the other one is for the 35th floor at 30 Hudson Yards.
Yeah, one thing I noticed is you checked off background music for the prior 4, but you have no music for this. Do you want background music in these spaces too?
Yeah, they would have background music, I believe. Devin is on, who's there at the premises.
Hello. Yes, we would definitely be looking for background music on these floors for corporate events.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that.
Any questions from the committee? Nelly, anyone online?
No, there's no one.
Motion.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, that passes, those pass, that's for 9 and 10. I believe just leaves us with item 12.
Yes. And that one is, same thing, catering establishment for corporate dining catered events, and that's for Compass Group USA Inc. for BlackRock corporate offices. And it's the 60 to 63rd floor at 50 Hudson Yards.
Yeah. And again, you didn't have music circled. I assume you want background music?
Yes, Noel is on. You would want
Yes.
background music, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Any questions from the committee? Nellie, anyone online?
No, there's no one.
So Nellie, can we? Okay, let's vote on that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great, that passes.
I just want to make sure there's no confusion about 407 West 15, which we already voted on, right? Nellie, did you say we got an updated STIP packet today on that?
Yes.
And what did that change?
Hold on. They wanted.
The one that changed, was that the one that changed the hours?
Yes.
All right, so what hours did they ask for on the new one?
Let me look back at the email. Hold on 1 second.
People do this. Was this Frank? Who was the Terry?
Yeah.
Who didn't mention it?
That's fine.
I want to see if we care or not.
Frank, they said operating hours 5 p.m. to 4 a.m. 7 days a week.
Okay, instead of what they had before, which was, so can they do that in Chelsea Market? Yes, if they're asking for it. All right, so to revisit this, are we okay with 4 a.m. on that music hall place?
It's downstairs, yeah.
Okay, so let's just take another vote on that so it's clear. So this is to make clear that the application for item 7, 407 West 15, we are voting on closing hours of 4 a.m., not what was in the amended application.
Motion, right?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oops. Sorry. Aye.
Okay, thanks, everybody.
All right, then we are moving on to item number 14. It's 201 8th Avenue, Westside Hospitality, Inc.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. Connor O'Higgins here, representing Westside Hospitality.
Go ahead.
So we are looking to take over 201 8th Avenue. We are looking for a full liquor. The current establishment has full liquor. We are not looking for any outdoor sidewalk cafe. There's going to be 27 tables total, 74 seats, one bar downstairs with 11 bar seats, one service bar on the second floor. We hung all our postings. We sent all our emails. We received no responses. We are not doing any structural change to the interior. We will change the exterior aesthetically with a paint job. They are currently operating as a sports bar. We won't be a sports bar. However, we will show sports. We are in New York, so we are looking for some background music. We would love an option for some live music, and we're happy to abide by stipulations in terms of finishing hours for that. It would only be on the ground floor. We don't have any residential directly above us, so sound shouldn't be an issue there.
Okay, what cutoff time would you be comfortable with for live music?
10 p.m. would be great.
Okay, thanks.
Sure.
And the hours for the prior operator were actually slightly longer than the ones they're asking for here.
Yeah, we're looking for midnight, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 2 a.m., Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Okay. And so we'll add a stip that says live music will cease no later than 10 p.m. nightly.
Sure, no problem.
Okay.
Any questions from the committee?
Yeah, I have,
Yes.
so on page 455, you indicate you are going to have a storm enclosure, which is an outside vestibule.
Correct.
Could you not do that?
So yes, that's actually we heard the issue with this previously. So what we I think we can do instead is do a what do you call it? A wind heater, a wind blocker instead. So that's no problem. Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah,
great.
we
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
that.
We really
Yeah, sure.
appreciate it.
Any questions from the committee? Nelly, do we have anyone online?
There's no one with the raised hand.
Motion.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That passes. Okay, good luck. Thanks.
Thank you for your time.
Next up is item number 15, 206 9th Avenue, Spice Rock NYC Inc.
Good evening. My name is Alyssa Yohe. I'm the attorney for the applicant. With me tonight is Nitin Shanana. He is the owner and principal of the establishment. The application before you is for an on-premise liquor license for a restaurant with a sidewalk cafe. This is a currently open and operating restaurant. My client purchased the restaurant from the prior operator, Aroka Hospitality LLC. He will be operating the restaurant the same exact manner. In fact, the trade name has remained the same. There is one bar on the interior. We do have the sidewalk cafe. There's 4 tables, 16 seats. That is currently licensed, and my client is in the process of having that transferred to his company. The restaurant and sidewalk cafe are open from 5 to 10 p.m. Tuesday through Thursday, 5 to 11 on Fridays, 11 to 11 on Saturdays, and 11 to 10 on Sundays. No music, no dancing, no private events, no promoters. The restaurant does offer wine and liquor bottle service to tables in the restaurant. Garbage, there's permanent closed garbage metal containers outside the premise that are kept out front. Those are picked up 5 days a week. And the restaurant does not have delivery bicycles. They do use third-party delivery companies who park at a bike stand located just in front of the restaurant.
So that was very organized. Thank you. I have a couple questions about the Sidewalk Cafe.
Sure.
Unless the rules have changed, my understanding was you couldn't transfer a Sidewalk Cafe. You had to newly apply to the DOT. Is that what's happening?
I spoke with the city and they advised that we could transfer it.
Okay. I guess I'm not opposed to that, except for the fact that what was approved by the DOT originally was 4 tables with 2, 4, 6, 8, with 12 seats, not 16. And I have the DOT submission here. So if you would be, so basically what they had on, and again, we have the diagrams that the prior operator submitted to the DOT pretty recently, in June of 2025, in fact. So what they have is 2 4-tops with 4 seats each, and then 2 2-tops with 2 seats each. So I would recommend to the committee that we are okay with any kind of transfer if you stick with what previously approved, but I'm not quite sure what it would look like with 4 more seats.
There's no room.
It's tight.
Yeah. So I don't know if the 16 was just a mistake, but it's very clear to us that what DOT approved was 4 tables and 12 seats. And we just heard from people, I don't know if you heard, that it's a tight space anyway.
Nitin, I'll let you comment, but are you okay with 12 seats? Oh, I see him on.
He might be muted. While we wait for him,
yeah.
Christine, did you have something?
Yeah, I sound like a broken record.
Okay.
On your page 5, you have an application for, you say you are going to install a storm enclosure.
It's the size of a house when they put
It is?
Yeah,
Right.
they need to not do it.
So you have.
They also say they have a vestibule. don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you say first you're going to have a vestibule inside the establishment, right? You see that in the application?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And then, let me see.
You could fit a family in.
So, so if you have a vestibule inside, you don't need a vestibule outside, right?
You don't need a storm enclosure.
Yeah, and with the vestibule outside is called a storm enclosure. And the one which is installed right now is way beyond the legal size that is, possible. So we would ask you to not install the storm enclosure at all.
Okay.
So I guess,
So don't put it up again in the winter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure the staff knows and the guys come around and say, okay, we put it up. You say no.
anybody have anything else? Well, Nelly?
Nelly, anybody online?
No, there's no one.
So
Okay.
they're agreeing to the 12.
Well, I know, that's what, I just wanted to focus the issues.
Because it's super, I don't
Yeah.
know how 12 fits.
Yeah.
I don't know if that is failure or not. They gotta stick with the law or they have to come back to us.
Right, but it would be,
Who knows?
I mean, I don't want to waste everyone's time.
Yeah,
They would
who knows?
agree to what we
Who
voted
knows?
on before.
And no one's on.
Yeah.
on the public.
So I guess no one's on for the
Phyllis.
public. So, I guess, is she there? Is the applicant here?
I'm
Yeah,
here.
so I guess,
The attorney.
yeah, so are you, is your client okay with the 12 seats rather than 16 in the Sidewalk Cafe?
He's on, but I'm not able to, he's not able to connect, apparently.
Okay, so how about, can we take another item and maybe you can call him offline and make sure
Sure.
he signs off on it?
Sure.
Because the alternative would be, we would not recommend approval of the Sidewalk Cafe now, and you'd have to come back separately to ask for the 16 seats. So
Yeah.
I think for the difference, you'd probably rather move this along quicker, but ask him that and make sure he's okay with the no storm enclosure. And just raise your hand when you come back, or just rejoin, and when we're between items, let us know you're ready to talk again.
Will do.
Okay?
Great.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, then we're gonna move on to item number 16, which is 450 West 33rd Street. 33rd Street, Hospitality.
In Midtown West, right?
Okay.
What happened?
Phil, someone else doing this from your office, or?
For 450
No.
West 33rd?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, is that you?
Yes,
Jeffrey?
great, thank you, yes.
Okay, hi, welcome.
Thank you. My name's Jeffrey Lefcourt. I'm the founder of Corner Table Restaurants. We have restaurants called The Smith and a restaurant called Parla. This is a new application for a new concept, new restaurant of ours at 450 West 33rd in Manhattan West. It was Casa Danny. We're in the process of working on renovation plans to open up a new American restaurant with a bar. It has 139 seats. There's no sidewalk cafe. What else can I share with you?
I think that's, so I don't mean to use a pejorative, but this is essentially the food court in the Manhattan West building,
Yeah.
right there, the one that Whole Foods is in, and this is the restaurant portion of it. There are
The
multiple
entrance is
restaurants.
It's on 30, the entrance is going to be on 33rd Street. The back of the space does go up against the new food hall that they're doing, and we're going to have a outlet serving food in the food hall also.
So we previously approved this without
Yeah.
any changes when it was the prior. So I don't have any comments.
Questions? Nelly, do we have anybody online?
No, there's no one with a raised hand.
Motion.
All right, motion, so go a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you,
Yes.
everybody.
Thank you. Is Alyssa back?
who did this?
No?
Look, are you back yet from 206 9th Avenue?
I don't think so.
Okay, so since the next one could take us, we only have the two outdoor dining things and number 7, correct? Because we did 18 out. Okay, I'd suggest we do the 2 outdoor dinings. I can just report on that, tell you where it stands. So these are 2 restaurants that are across the street from each other on 9th Avenue, seeking small sidewalk cafes, but we're somewhat problematic measurement wise. You know, I went and measured carefully. There are issues about them not fitting. I spoke to their lawyer today, who's come into it recently, and tells me the owner, who may be on this call, is very amenable to working things out. They've already, on one of these, on the 739 9th Avenue, they've already agreed to drop the 2 tables that are 9th Avenue, because that's where they can't have both. Similarly, on the side street side, they've agreed to reduce the tables for 4 to tables for 2, because tables for 4 don't fit. There are a couple other issues, such as whether that corner table conflicts with the pedestrian ramps on the corner, and the same with, and then on the, so that one, that is the open issue. I suggest you give me discretion to go over there and measure with them and work it out. If it doesn't fit, my understanding is they will agree to eliminate it. But if it satisfies the measurements, I'd be okay with that. And then similarly on the other one, for 741 9th Avenue, my sense is it'll have to be reduced from 4 tables to either 3 or 2 in order to clear the fire hydrant that's right in the middle there, and possibly clear the pedestrian ramps at the corner. But again, I'm gonna try to work that out with the applicant, and given that they've been cooperative so far, I think we'll be able to work it out. So we've had some changes, we possibly will have some more. Christine, do you see anything else?
I have a question. I don't know. It says now on the side street, it says 12.5 feet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the space for the tables and the serving lane is 4.5 feet.
Right.
And I just don't see how.
So that's why they've reduced those tables to 1 tops. So they'll have, no, 4.5, well, don't forget, the only service hour required by DOT now is 1 foot. So I think if it's 4.5 feet, the table can be 2 or even 2.5 feet, and we'd still have 2 feet or maybe 2.5 feet for the service aisle, which is a lot more than we usually get.
Right.
So I was okay with them reducing the size of those tables.
And same thing on 9th Avenue? Did you reduce them?
Yeah, same thing there, because once you get clear of the fire hydrant, there's more space. So we'll just see, we'll go and measure the circumference around the fire hydrant.
Now, this applicant during the whole winter had a massive, massive,
all right,
I mean, beyond massive enclosure.
Yes. So I spoke to the lawyer about that. So, hi, are you the applicant for these 2?
Yes. How are
Hi.
you, everyone? Good evening. Yes, yeah, I'm
So
listening to everything. Yeah.
Yeah, so is what I said basically what your lawyer communicated to you? I'll come over and we'll measure together and work out these remaining issues.
Yeah, yeah. I think, yeah, I spoke to him in the morning as well. If we can reconsider, we noticed that we're talking about 739 9th Avenue. We had to add a ramp, like ADA ramp. So technically, we have no room to put extra tables. But considering this situation, we are planning to kind of move the exit of the ramp to the other side of 50th Street, going to 51st. And then we can have a little room right there by the window, so we can keep at least 1 table of 4
That's, sorry to interrupt. That's not what your lawyer told me. I'll try to work this out with you, and I think we can. But your lawyer told me you were getting rid of all the tables on 9th Avenue, but we can talk about that.
That's what I'm saying. If there's any chance that we can do that.
Well, if it fits, I mean, you and I will meet, we'll do the measurements. If it fits, we'll be okay with it. If you don't have the clearance you need, we won't be able to do it. Okay?
If there is, what about I'm sorry to interrupt. There's a possibility to leave that open until like with the stipulation of only moving out the ramp to the other side, we can use that table for at least.
So sorry, I didn't want to get involved in this. We're going to put you back to the end of the agenda. I thought this was going to be fast. Okay? All right, so stick around. We'll talk to you. This is not what your lawyer told me was going to happen.
Okay, so you know what? Let's do what the lawyer said. I got no problem with that. So can we keep the 3 tables on the 50th Street? That's it.
I would like to say something.
Yeah.
I would like to say.
Okay, 1 second.
I'd like to say no to the outdoor dining on 9th Avenue because the whole winter they left not even 3 foot of space from the telephone pole, and it's impossible to get by.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, let's also take into consideration that there's a bus stop right there that's already eaten up a lot of the sidewalk.
So you're talking about 739 or 741?
739.
Okay.
They left no room.
Okay, so people are concerned about any tables on 9th Avenue at 739 9th. So would you agree not to have any tables on 9th?
If there's any chance to have not tables of 4, just tables of 2, really close to the wall, just 2 tops, like 3 tables.
No, what we're hearing is that you took up way too much space all winter, and people are concerned about that happening again, and there's barely enough space anyway.
So you're telling me that there's no chances for us to have a sidewalk cafe? Couple tables outside?
Well, we will oppose it. I'm not saying you have no chance to get it, but we will oppose it on 9th Avenue.
Okay, and what about 741 9th Avenue?
So 741, we're okay if we can clear the corner, and your lawyer thought we'd probably have to reduce it to 2 or maybe 3 tables.
Can we have 3 tables, please, if you don't mind? 3 tables be nice. And then we can just go ahead and move on.
All right, what I agreed with your lawyer is I would meet with either him or you and do the measurements and see how many we can fit.
No, it's okay. 2 tables is okay.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, and then we have a question. We have a question about it being enclosed.
Yeah, so what are you going to do? I mean, do you or your client understand that you cannot put any enclosure around the cafe? None in the winter. You cannot put an enclosure. It's in the law. It's illegal.
Okay. So far, that's very new information for me. Okay, we'll put that on the first place for the next year when the time. Since we're not going to get any tables outside.
Hold on. We would put that on the first place.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
That we're going to, like, we don't have tables in the front, and there's no way to put an enclosed cafe. That's for sure. That was
but
only.
What about the side? What about on the side street?
On the side, if it all depends. Like you're saying, where you guys want to put this in pending and see we have tables. If we don't have tables outside, there's no reason for us to put enclosed outside.
Let's assume for 1 second you have tables. You have to commit that you are not going to enclose it.
So if we get the tables, then there's no enclosing. And if you are concerned about enclosing on the 50th Street
I'm not
side,
concerned. This is the law, sir.
Okay.
So you will follow the law and not enclose the cafes to the extent.
Okay, that's fine. That sounds fine. If we
neither one.
Yeah. If we still can get the tables, couple of tables, be so nice. Then we wouldn't do any enclose if that's required by law. That's fine, no problem. Okay.
Right. So I will meet with you and we'll work something out. If we can't work it out, we're going to object to the sidewalk cafe, but I hope we can work it out. Okay. And
Wonderful.
your lawyer
Thank you
will
very
set up
much.
something where you and I can meet.
Thank you very much. All right.
So What? Sorry, that was supposed to be a lot faster.
Right.
So I think we're 80% of the way there on this. I'll work out the remaining issues. If we can't, for some reason, the recommendation will turn into a denial. Otherwise, it's an approval. And it would be approval of both DOT and the SLA
And
alteration.
we'll put in the steps that they are not going to enclose anything.
To the extent prohibited by law, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
well,
the sidewalk cafe is no
their
enclosure.
the reason I qualify that is their lawyer is checking with the SLA because he has heard that what the law prohibits is fully enclosed sidewalk cafes, which is
No. This is in the laws of the sidewalk cafe in the DOT.
right. It says no fully enclosed, and so he has understood that some kind of partial enclosures are allowed. He's going to look into that, get a response from DOT, and send it to us.
We had already got.
I told them that.
We got an
I
answer.
remember
in
that
writing.
about the 10th Avenue
Right.
place. So let's see what they say. But whatever the law turns out to be, they will agree to follow. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other comments?
I'm
Nellie,
back.
do you have any hands?
Okay, 1 second.
Okay.
Nellie, do you have any hands raised online?
No, there's no one.
All right, are we bundling this code 19 and 20?
Mm-hmm.
And for both DOT and SLA. Yeah.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? Those pass.
Okay, let's go back to 2069. Vice Rad.
I spoke with my client. He 16 was actually, he said, an error, so it is 12 seats on the patio, and he agreed no storm enclosure.
Okay.
Motion to
great.
approve.
Second, all those in favor?
Okay.
Aye.
Aye.
Pass. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that brings us to number 17, 530 West 27th Street.
I'm pretty good at this. I told you I thought 8 o'clock we'd do it, and if we hadn't done stuff out of order, it would have been. My prediction skills are improving.
Where do you want me?
Let's just make sure we can get you on camera. Why don't you start talking and we'll see what happens.
Sure. Before I begin, I just want to make sure that we have a couple guys virtually, Ethan Wagner and Kevin Williams from GZA. We don't need them immediately.
Nellie, could you make sure those people have moved over?
Can you repeat those names, please?
Kevin Williams and Ethan Wagner. All right. Okay. I'll get going. Bill Dorn with Vizetsky and Bookman, attorney for the applicants. With me is a whole bunch of people from our team here: Matthew Quatnitz, Harlan Berger, Henry Rich, and as I mentioned, Ethan and Kevin, who are appearing virtually. This is an application for an on-premises liquor license at the former Sleep No More space at 530 West 27th, which is 27th between 10th and 11th. I have a feeling that tonight's discussion is basically going to be broken down into two main components: what this space was in the past and what's gone on in recent memory, as well as what this space will be going forward. Before we get into all that past history, I just want to take a minute to explain what the plan is for this space going forward, because I think that's important for everyone to understand.
So yeah, Phil, you know, several as know it as a Sleep No More space and know what it was.
Yeah.
But when you start this, could you just sort of give an overview of what the whole building is?
The plan.
Okay, good.
So this is the Culture Club. The Culture Club is a hub for the arts. Throughout the building, there will be different theatrical performances taking place at different times on different floors. Picture it almost like a movie theater. So you walk in, there are different showings, there are different spaces for different performances. There's a lobby, there's you get directed to your specific ticketed performance. Additionally, there is F&B throughout the entire space. The F&B is fully operated by the Oberon team, which is run by Henry Rich right here. Henry and the Oberon team have over 2 decades of significant F&G experience in the city. A number of highly regarded restaurants, including several in Brooklyn in highly residential areas, a restaurant that's located within a brownstone with residents directly above. More recently, Henry and the Oberon team were selected over several highly qualified applicants to run the F&B at the new museum, which is obviously a large cultural institution with many of the similar resident concerns that there might be tonight. It's also worth noting that the Centaur team, which is the other licensee, WS27 LLC, was part of the operating team at Sleep No More. So this is a team that is fully experienced and that is familiar with the operations that were so successful at Sleep No More for so many years. The goal here is to preserve a cultural institution. The goal, while not simply just preserving, but it's also to provide a new safe space for artists and creatives to gather and to perform in this venue. To get into a little more specifics, we included, and I know we sent the office a revised package this morning or this afternoon, and Nellie was out, so I tried to circulate as many hard copies as I could. I do have 1 or 2 more copies if you guys don't have them to reference. Looks like you might want one. I'm just gonna have my.
You want one of these? There you go. You can borrow mine. I've already seen it.
So a few pages into the plan, there is what we call a stacking plan. The stacking plan, which is a color coordinated plan, is a high level outline of everything that's going to be going on. For the sake of time, I'll try to quickly run through it. There's obviously a lot of detail that we could go into, but the heart of the venue is floors 3 through 5. That is where the performances are going to take place. Immersive theater rooms all throughout those 3 floors. The second floor is basically your lobby. If you're going back to that movie theater analogy I gave, people go in, they check in, they present their tickets, they find their show. That is where, if anyone is waiting for a show to begin, they will be on that second floor. They won't be outside. The ground floor and cellar spaces are for different events, cultural programming, dancing, nightlife. And then you have the 6th floor and the rooftop, which are for F&B spaces as well as a wellness spa. Although they're grouped together by color on the stacking plan, it's worth noting that the rooftop itself is a full-fledged restaurant. The seats are fixed. It is a full-service seated dinner only. One additional point to point out about that is the occupancy that's listed on that rooftop is 243. That is the EOB legal occupancy. It is a seated table occupancy of 75, and that is the plan for the roof. There is no standing room. There's no bellying up to a bar. It is seated at 75, and unless there is a private dinner where there are more tables that need to be brought in, where again people would still be seated, then the occupancy is remaining 75. Now, I think it is imperative for everyone to understand here that this will not be a 7-floor nightclub. I can assure you of that. In fact, we are happy to stipulate to certain things that will assure this committee and local stakeholders that it won't be any sort of 7-floor nightclub. I think the first thing that we are ready to stipulate to right off the bat that will hopefully make people feel a little easier about this is that we are happy to stipulate to no building-wide events. Okay, so there will be no events ever where all 7 floors are being used together simultaneously. There might be at different times different events going on throughout the building, but there will not be one sort of event, 7-floor event. And I know people have questions about what has happened in the past. That is something we are happy to stipulate to. That also means, of course, that people on different floors, since there are different events going on, will be leaving at different times, which helps with traffic flow and sound to the outside. As another gesture to that same notion about not having a 7th-floor nightclub, you'll see in the packet that our hours are 4 a.m. 7 nights a week, minus the roof, which is earlier. We are happy to stipulate to the 3rd, 4th, and 5th floors closing at 1 a.m. So that should hopefully quell more of the concerns about this space being used as a mega club, which it really is not. There's obviously a lot to say about this space, and like I said, we're happy to go into more detail about it, but for the sake of time, there's a lot more that needs to be said. I really want to highlight the efforts that the applicants have put forth over the last few months to put together a comprehensive and well thought out package to present. First and foremost, I mentioned the 2 gentlemen on Zoom, Kevin and Ethan. They are from GZA. GZA is a world-renowned engineering team. They produced sound and traffic studies, which are included in the packets that we provided. The recommendations in those studies will be strictly adhered to by the applicant. We are happy to stipulate to that effect that the applicant will abide by any recommendations made in those reports. With adherence to those reports, the space will be soundproofed, the noise code will be followed, and traffic issues will be kept at bay. So we feel very good about those reports. And of course, the guys here from GZA are happy to answer specifics about those reports if you have them. And the last thing I want to say before I go into kind of the past history that I mentioned, I just want to highlight the outreach efforts that this team made over the last couple of months. Just to highlight a few, we sent the standard email blast to the neighboring block associations. We met with a ton of residents. We hosted multiple walkthroughs in the space. We met with Assembly Member Tony Simone and people from his office. We met with Jeremy Carmel, who's considered to be kind of a liaison to this committee on 27th Street. We met with the West Chelsea Block Association, Council of Chelsea Block Association. We have a whole list of the block associations that we met with. We hand-delivered letters to every single residential building on the block with hopes to meet as many residents as possible. And we received an outpouring of support. We provided about 24 letters of support in the packet. And hopefully there are some people here tonight attending virtually or in person who can speak to that support. Of course, if there is any, no outreach effort is ever going to be perfect. It is just impossible to reach every single person. And so if there are people here tonight who do want to raise concerns, we are all ears. We are happy to try to address them to the best of our abilities. And with all that said, I know people want to discuss kind of what's gone on in this space in the past. So let's just take a step back for a second and talk about that. So we understand why people might have concerns. As I mentioned, that the large venue concern about noise, concerns about trash outside. Those concerns likely stem from past uses of the space. What's gone on, not only 5 years ago, 10 years ago, pre-COVID with Sleep No More, but also in the last year or so. We're not going to stand here and say those concerns aren't legitimate. That would be absolutely silly of us to do. What we are going to do is explain explain to you that the way this space was used previously is not the way that this space is going to be used from the future. That one event on Halloween that I know a lot of people had issues with, that is not at all the type of place that this is going to be. I can get into a little bit of the legal minutia behind that, but basically, those events in the last, call it 1 year, I don't know the specific timeline of when they took place, but were run via what's called an SLA one-day permit. These one-day permits are ungoverned, and they were operated through third-party promoters that admittedly the applicants contracted with. That is no longer going to take place. All the events in the space are operated in-house through both the Oberon and Centaur teams. The only one aside from that is the actual theatrical productions themselves. These theater companies need to bring in their own actors, of course. All the F&B will be in-house, all through, as I said, an extremely experienced operations team. During those past one-off events, none of that was true. We sincerely apologize for the way some of those events were run. We partnered with the wrong people, full stop. We didn't take seriously enough into consideration the concerns of different residents, and now we want to do it the right way. This is an application for a permanent liquor license, as opposed to, like I said, an ungoverned one-day event permit where you get a license for the whole space and it's there's no stipulation, there's no restriction on it, and it becomes it can possibly blossom into something like it did on say Halloween. This permanent license will allow for a little governance and by means of stipulation and other possible methods that if this board wants to consider them. Almost done here. This building is designed for cultural experiences and food and beverage. That's how it's built, that's how it's zoned. There are basically two ways to accomplish that. There's one-day permits, which we've seen, and there is a permanent liquor license, which we saw with Sleep No More. Obviously, one was far more successful and far more beneficial to the community than the other, and so we hope that we can get back to that point. It's worth noting that we are not asking for anything beyond what Sleep No More had as far as method of operation. In fact, with the concession that we have made on those floors 3 to 5, it will be a lot less than what Sleep No More originally had. So we don't want to go above and beyond. We just want to get back to that point of the permanent license that everybody enjoys. So said a lot. There's a quick summary. We have comprehensive traffic and security plans, which will lead to twice as many staffers outside of the building, monitoring vehicular traffic, foot traffic, loiterers, trash. We have a noise plan to ensure that the building is completely soundproof. We have earlier closing hours than original. We have staggered show times, staggered ending times to make sure people aren't flooding the street all at once. And I know I only touched on the surface level of what this true cultural iconic building is going to be, but we hope that we can restore it to the kind of place that it once was, which was a true benefit to the neighborhood.
Good, thanks. So just some context for people who may not have known what this area has gone through. Starting, I guess maybe 25 years ago now, this space was a series of famous or perhaps infamous clubs, Sound Factory, Twilo. There were other clubs on this block. Things got so out of hand that the police were basically the nightly shut down the street, trying to control the crowds. And the area was far less residential than it was now. That finally all went away. In 2010, this British theater company called Punch Drunk wanted to open their first show in New York, which is called Sleep No More. They took over the space. Essentially, they did have the whole building. Essentially, the first 5 floors were what's called immersive theater. People were let into the space and let free to wander around. The whole space was licensed because there was one bar where they sold beverages. At other points, they gave out free drinks. Ultimately, they expanded to have a separate theater on the 6th floor, and then they even got the roof licensed. And that all happened gradually because the community board and residents were very suspicious. Initially, the roof wasn't licensed. Only the interior was licensed. That worked well enough that we allowed them to be recommended approval of the roof. And as far as I know, they were very well managed operation. And we had minimal complaints during the Sleep No More regime. They made it through the pandemic, reopened, but closed permanently a couple of years after the pandemic. And that's what is at issue in this space. In terms of the community board involvement, we in Tony Simone's office have been hearing a lot of complaints about these one-day events, which Phil has mentioned. So as a result, when this first came up, we had a Zoom with Phil's firm, the applicant, Tony's representatives, Wendy, Nellie, Jesse and I participated variously. We talked about the problems, we talked about what they were happening. After the first Zoom 6 weeks ago, we told them they really need to refine their vision. So they postponed their BLP appearance from April to tonight. We then had another Zoom about 2 weeks ago. I did a site visit with Ben from Tony's office last week. That's sort of where things stand. We've got, several letters of objection that have been in the Dropbox. There are a lot of letters of support attached to the applicant package that came in today. Just sort of take it from there. I can summarize the objecting emails unless we hear from people in person about them first. Anyone, before we turn to public, any questions, comments from the committee? Jen?
Can you just clarify the music and outdoor?
Absolutely. So the music, I'm glad you asked about the music because that is another aspect of this that we hope will put people's minds at ease a bit. So Monday, as far as the hours of the music go, Sunday through Thursday rather, the music will be ending earlier than the hours of operation. You'll see we kind of have an addendum to the packet, which goes into detail on every floor, what the hours are, what the music are. Just the music on the roof. It's background music only. The roof is closing at midnight during the week and 1 a.m. on weekends, which is exactly what it was versus. And the music will be background music. Correct. Correct.
So the music is going coextensive with the operating.
Background only, no live.
Correct.
I have to say, I've eaten up really with Sleep No More, and it was very quiet.
Which is one of the things I would love to hear from any of the neighbors when they do speak. Were they okay when it was Gallo Green and Sleep No More? Versus those, historic.
Yeah.
Was that okay? The queuing
Were they
outside
okay
was a
with that?
problem in the beginning, but then they fixed it. They were pretty good. They had 2 people out there. The queuing became
Right.
good.
And one
They kept
thing,
them close to the
Phil
wall.
showed us when we visited is they do have a good plan for dealing with.
250 people
So
inside.
there's that long, I don't know if you ever
Yeah.
went to Sleep No More,
Yeah.
there's a long corridor.
Yeah.
They're gonna move the ticket check even further.
So they're, yeah.
Virtually the entire audience,
So
the ground
two-
floor.
250 people
Yeah,
can fit
can fit
inside
into that
into
corridor. Everyone else for the events on the 3rd and 5th floor are gonna enter through another door and go up to the 2nd floor,
Mhm.
which will be, like, as he said, like a movie theater lobby,
Mhm.
where there'll be a bar and people can wait until they're called up to their respective theaters. So
Yeah.
I think that'll deal with that.
I'm more interested in any complaints. The petitions here, I don't think I haven't found any that are from Chelsea.
No, the petitions are really just people who did walkthroughs and local artists, but.
Yeah, and most of the letters of support,
We all. Okay, that was both things.
so, most of them are,
We focused on the letters of support and
the letters of
discussion with
support
with the
aren't
box
really from a
association.
lot of residents. They're from gallery owners, the shed people, and some producers.
List of
Yeah. I read all of the ones that are in here, and majority of them are not from residents, as are the petitions, but also not from residents.
Okay, well, when we get into it, Phil can highlight any of these lots of stages. Christine?
So yes, I needed to help me with the traffic plan. So the street is going east, right?
West.
27.
Towards 11.
27 is going west.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so 10th Avenue, it goes from 10, the block goes from 10 to 11.
Mhm.
Okay. And this is a 1-lane street, right?
Correct.
So, so one thing I'm very concerned about, and we had these issues with other clubs, like One Oak, etc., was the people coming in and honking, not being able to bypass each other, etc. So to me, it would be very critical that you do not let the cars get in the block and stay on 10th Avenue and have your control people keeping them on 10th Avenue. Because if everybody is there and honking, it's going to be a night. So that's something we have done with One Oak and other clubs, to keep them on 10th Avenue and let people get off.
Can I have the GZA people speak? They did an extensive study on the
10th
traffic.
Avenue is a parking lot.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna move.
They
You're not even
determined,
gonna.
they determined that it was
It's-
much more
it's-
feasible.
Well, what I'm
parking lot.
going to tell you is that what is going to happen, and I have that experience for the past One Oak, is all the cars get in and they come bypass and everybody honks. So everyone gets
Okay,
there.
so what I suggest is that we make a list of the big topics.
Yeah.
Before we start hearing from experts and things.
So this
so
one is
traffic
a big one,
yeah,
right?
okay.
And we had that on 6th
Yeah.
Avenue, also on 26th Street,
Right.
where we were pushing.
And you're right,
people.
I know one solution has been to list the Uber pickup point as the 10th Avenue.
Right,
Okay, but we'll
Yeah.
get to that.
And then I'm also concerned about the roof.
Yep.
Because
They're like booths.
What's that?
The roof, they're like booths.
It's seated,
hold
it's a
on,
restaurant, yeah.
I'm concerned because these people have already shown a little questionable judgment about what they've been doing the last year. And so my trust level is not 100%. And I would like to see nothing on the roof right now. And while we are approving this whole operation with a lot of people, I don't think it's necessary to have the roof to have the thing. So that would be my position.
I just wanted to get some clarity because I'm a little confused. When you guys own the space for the last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you basically rented out to contractors to rent the space.
Oh, wait,
One-time event?
I'm not sure that's quite right, doesn't it?
It's not entirely correct, but we obtained one-day permits for us along with third-party permits.
So there's this team managing those events?
No, they were selecting subcontractors.
Okay.
I mean, what were some? Do you agree with that assessment?
Hi, Matthew, I'm the general manager. Yes, I would agree that we use third parties. I was the only staff member, and then slowly we started taking over because we didn't like their behavior. And then we realized we had to staff up the entire operation, as we did in partnership with Central Morgan.
And how many events did you run?
We ran 4 events before deciding we didn't want to do it.
And what were, just for transparency, what were some of the complaints that you guys had?
I think the biggest complaints
traffic?
the biggest complaint was people leaving the space all at once. I would say that the capacity of the events that we had under one-day permits, just to be completely honest, is almost triple the capacity that we are asking for now. And our biggest mistake, I think, was not understanding how many people could safely be in the space and how to manage it. At the first events, we didn't control security. We had 2 security and we required them to have security. By the end of that Halloween event, we completely took over security and didn't allow them to control the street. And each time we decided we can't let someone do that. We can't. And pretty much we're like, well, then we just have to run the whole operation. Noise from people leaving all at the same time is probably the biggest complaint. People being loud on the street. I don't think we got too many traffic complaints. The honking was something that we were very concerned about. It's there's 2 lanes and 2 parking lanes. And so by our last event, we had people stationed with flags to stop people. I personally made cars move so that they wouldn't block the street. Although it would be nice if there were enforcement of the commercial standings over there, as most of the people park in an area that would be a drop-off lane.
It does look like a wider street.
It is.
It had 2.
Oh, it's 2 lanes?
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
But some of the emails and letters we got did complain about honking, particularly in the late night before 5 a.m. period. So there was definitely honking that was bothering somebody.
You said there were 4, we weren't there, I wasn't, anyway. Just so I can understand the difference between those 4 rooms, what were they, like old building, like club. I think Twilight gave your we highlighted. It was like a full-on club for the night kind of situation.
Halloween was a full-on club, and it was
Tell
for
her no
promoters, I should say. The Halloween event was 4 nights, but I'm calling that one event because we had one promoter. It's called Tell No One, and that one had a capacity of 3,500.
And was the rooftop used?
The rooftop was used, but not for live music. So people were up there. There were some gathering people. The people that were seated were fine. I think we'd like to go to the seated model. The second one was a New Year's event. That was not the full. It was 3 floors, also included the rooftop. The third one was the Twilo reunion. That one was still a very large capacity, and we didn't do sequenced exit, so everyone left at exactly the same time. They had wanted to extend, that was daylight savings time, and they tried to convince us to go the extra hours, and we forced them out, and so they went out on the street as a sort of protest. That was when we decided we wanted to control the music and the sequencing, because we would have ended it 2 hours early. And then did an event with House of Yes for Valentine's. So there were 2 other corporate events that happened. There was a fashion show and also a Johnny Walker event. I'm sure you had no complaints about that because there just weren't many people. That's more the scale of events that were happening if we were doing regular events.
I do just want to add also, I was starting to touch on it earlier, but now it's come up a couple times about people leaving all at once and the sound that comes with that. As an effort to try to quell that along with the staggered departure times and staggered ending times of different shows, we're going to be ending music earlier than the closing of the space. So come 2 a.m., the music turns off, and so people slowly make their way out from 2 to 4. So it's not as if the music is going until 4 a.m., music's off, lights are on, and everyone's out at the same time. We really do want to try to stop that from happening.
Yeah. Anyone else? Carrie or Mike, you have any additional questions?
I do not. Thank you. You guys covered everything.
Okay.
Same here. Thank you.
Sorry?
How many residential buildings are on
There are,
27 or
so
26?
there's some photos
I
in
saw
the
some
Dropbox.
photos, right?
So I
I
think
saw
there are,
one.
depending how you count them, I think there are 3 major buildings across 27th Street. One right across, one which may be on 28th, but is higher and faces 27th. And then a sort of pass-through thing that has like a long entrance on 24th Street is a little set off, but it's 2 separate buildings. So there are, my sense was that there were 3 big buildings. Seems to be nothing on the other side on 28th Street. That seems to be completely commercial or industrial. Do you want to hear from people here?
Just by way of introduction, Jeremy Carmel. I was called out in your application. I did meet with these gentlemen earlier. Just to answer your question, right opposite on, so we live on 27.
Yeah, so what's yours? So you're in which
537.
Okay.
So right next to us, east of us, there is a building which is bang opposite their entrance, which is just about to start construction.
Okay.
So there will be a full condo building directly opposite. So a couple of things I just want to say. From a resident's perspective, we welcome the arts. We welcome theatre. Absolutely welcome it. Sleep No More was a very good neighbour, and I will agree with everything that you said here. However, there are other issues with 27th Street, and what it feels like, there's been no discussion tonight about the first and second. And the first and second floor, our interpretation as residents, is that is the pseudo nightclub. That is the step back to what 27th Street was many years ago, and that's where we can never go. Okay? So that bit has been left out of much of the discussion, and we need to, I would encourage you all to dig into that. That is the concern. Culture, the theatre, huge thumbs up. The culture and the theatre don't run till 4 o'clock in the morning. Okay? Certainly not 7 days a week, and certainly not starting again at 9 a.m. So my question is, I'm coupled with the events that have gone on over the past year and the lack of judgment, the fact that the first and second floor have been left out of this application, that is our concern. Our concern is noise on the street. The traffic idea on 10th Avenue is a non-starter. The Marquee Club is already there at the weekend. There is a rooftop bar that does have a liquor license on 27th Street, right next door to the hotel. That's had enough issues with fire department.
Well aware of those, yeah.
We, as community representatives of some of the long-standing members, will remember, we saw off San Cubano, we saw off Il Bastardo. This does have connotations of another murky application where there's not 100% full disclosure. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry I'm wrong. But our view is that there is part of this which is a nightclub which is just not welcome in an area which is now residential.
Okay.
The rest of it, wonderful.
Thank you. All right, we'll circle back to that as well. Anyone else here want to speak about this?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'm not going to labor the point. I think Jeremy made it or expressed it quite eloquently. I think we all remember when it used to be Club
Okay, sorry, what's your, do you?
I live right across the street.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So, I think we all remember what it used to be, if any, or even Gallup. They were a fantastic neighbor. What it seems like to me, and I don't have the benefit of the packet that you circulated today, I'm not quite sure I understand. I heard wellness club, performance space, rooftop bar. It's like a mall. Just help me understand. I don't know. That to me is quite loose, and I think we're jumping all in until 4 a.m. And I think it would be wise to zoom out of it. And can we dip our toes in without going to the full enchilada?
Okay, I'd like to take a look. Yeah. Okay, anybody else in the room? Nellie, do we have anyone online?
Yes, we have 6 people with their hands raised. 7.
Okay.
I'm gonna move over we have 10 people with their hands raised. I'm gonna move over 3 at a time. First, I have Stella, Sheila, and Keith.
I think in the interest of time, if you could please try to keep your remarks to about 90 seconds. And if someone has spoken before you and you agree with them, feel free to just say that you agree with them without having to repeat.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Stella. I live across the street from that Sleep No More space. And I think the previous people already spoke, and I want to kind of echo what is already in our blog. We already have Marquee. We have Selena Hotel that has all the rooftop establishment creating a lot of noise pollution. I'm sure you are all aware of the complaints that have been filed. And having another third establishment is adding so much noise in our block. It is almost impossible. On weekends, during the summer, it gets really loud and it just really affects our quality of life. And I think the other thing that I want to mention is that even though our block is 2-lane street, it almost creates the noise tunnel. So when we had the event, the honking from all the like taxis and Ubers and all the people spilling out after having a, I don't know what kind of great party they had. And it was just really unbearable at 3 a.m. in the morning to listen to people shouting in our block. So I really want you to consider the quality of life issues that we have to deal with, and noise, having to deal with the noise is really affecting our mental and physical health. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Sheila?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Hi, my name is Sheila, and sorry, that's my dog. I'm an artist, and I have a studio that is at 510 West 27th Street. And I was invited to an event that they are not, which is going to be the future kind of theater that they will be having. that's replacing Sleep No More. And I just thought it was just a magical experience. And in the current climate that we live in, where the arts are not supported, really sorry about my dog, where the arts are not supported, it's wonderful to have something like this, to have theater, interactive theater in the neighborhood. And I am hoping that it's hard to fund these things. And with a liquor license, it will make sure that we have theater, interactive theater on 27th Street. So that's what
Okay, thank you very much. Ellie, next.
Keith?
Yeah, hi. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate the time. Just a couple comments. So, as it relates to the street itself, right, it used to be essentially a one-way road with room for one car driving down the street with parking on either side. They since changed that to two very cramped lanes. The reality is, even when, you know, we had these events across the street, even with two lanes, the cars are just parked, double parked, triple parked. You can't get by, and the honking starts all hours of the night. So, you know, there needs to be a solution regarding that, right? There currently is no obvious solution, whether you put something on 10th Avenue or have pickup on 11th, whatever it is. Like we've seen the movie too many times. That's point one. Point two, I live in the building right across the street, so I think the chairperson was referencing a tunnel. We've had trespassers enter our tunnel time and time again. So now when you factor in 4 a.m. and you factor in drinking, we've already had our door people attacked in our building numerous times. That's a recipe for disaster, huge liability. It's just dangerous for everybody. So I think to introduce hundreds of drunken people at 4 a.m, again, recipe for disaster for everybody. And then you referenced, or excuse me, I believe the attorney had referenced the path towards soundproofing that building, which is essentially like a landmark building that's been there forever. What exactly is the plan, and how do you endeavor to soundproof a 7-story brick facade that's been there for, you know, decades and decades?
Okay, thanks. We'll put that on the list, but I don't think Phil mentioned soundproofing.
I did, as part of
You did?
the recommendation from BZA, that there will be mitigation efforts to soundproof the space.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
I'll have GZA speak to that.
Yeah, all right. Okay, thanks. Natalie, next.
Next, we have Josh, John, and then Amir.
All right, I'll go quickly. I'll quickly echo everything my neighbors have said. I mean, this has caused significantly quality of life issues for everyone involved. I'll hit on very specific points. So one is the crowd control and the noise. As mentioned, we're talking about like 300, 400, if not more people crowding the streets. What happens is the door has to remain open for people to trickle in and out the entire night. So music, no matter how soundproof you get the building, when the door is open or when windows are open, noise is going to trickle out into the street, into our neighbors, into our building. I can feel bass throughout the entire night up till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I could barely sleep. And this has happened multiple times. So that's one. The other thing is the outsourcing of events to promoters and parties. I have very, very low confidence that this will not continue to happen after the liquor license is approved. I mean, who's going to continue to enforce these stipulations? Who knows what kind of parties they'll throw in the future? So again, I just strongly urge that we do not approve this license. Thanks.
Thank you.
John?
Yeah, hi. I'm coming out in support of this in a big way as a cultural addition to the neighborhood. I have a business at 548 West 28. I live on 24th at London Towers. I've been a resident of the neighborhood for 25 years and watched the neighborhood slowly shift to something that I don't recognize. And I think it's really important to maintain the character of Chelsea with cultural events and things of this nature. And I think the operators are ultra professional. I think they understand all of the concerns, and I believe that they will be responsible neighbors.
Thank you. Next.
It's my turn?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Thank you very much. So I would like to ask the group to not approve the license. We live across the street at the Jardine building, which used to be the Pink Elephant nightclub, one of those cultural institutions perhaps that some might remember, but now it's a residential building. I have two young children. There are at least 11 or 12 kids below age of 10 in this building, right across the street from the property. The last few times that I've had parties here, that has impacted our lives, quality of our life, until 4 a.m. We already have problems, as others said, with the hotel just down the road. I pulled the data. There has been 93, I believe, noise complaints for that hotel, which is in comparison to what they're asking for here. I think that property can accommodate 150 people. They're asking for 1,799 people, I think, the capacity in this location. I also like culture, but maybe once a year, twice a year, they want to have events here. That's fine. Not every night until 4 a.m. We live in this neighborhood. This used to be nightclub row. Now there are 3 large buildings, residential buildings with kids across the street. So it's categorically not what the folks are representing as being cultural institution. This is going to be a big mess for people who live here. Thank you.
You.
Next, we have Eric, Kez, Christian, and Scott.
Hi, I'm Eric. I'm happy to go next. So I live across the street from this building. If you open my window, I could hit it with a baseball, and I'm very bad at throwing baseballs. But I'm here to strongly oppose the liquor license application for 530 West 27th Street. I think, as you could see in the stipulation form, the first 2 floors are asking for DJ events as late as 4 a.m., using third-party promoters, a rooftop with operations until 1 a.m. And I pair that with an operator who has made extremely bad judgment calls. And we're not talking about bad judgment calls like 2 years ago. The materials at least state that the application was submitted to the State Liquor Authority on March 17th of this year, and the Twilo reunion parties were 1 week before that. These were multi-night events that brought in 2 Class 6 trucks worth of speakers, many of which are 10 feet high, which we're happy to send you guys photos the event organizers posted of this equipment. But as you can imagine, like pounding bass from 10 to 14 foot high speakers, a week before the application was submitted to the State Liquor Authority for a nightclub that was forcibly shut down by the city 25 years ago is not a good start for what the intentions are for the first 2 floors of this building, which again are asking for music until 4 a.m. Per the stipulation package.
Thanks, Eric. That's Jeff. Any new points? So that was your time. Anything else to add quickly?
No, that's it.
Thank you.
Next, we have Kez.
Hey, everybody. I represent 520 West 27th Street. We're a commercial building, but we operate 24/7. I've been operating out of that building since 2009, so I've seen the history of the street. And I'm going to have to echo Amir and Eric with a big no. Sleep No More, very, nice for the culture, etc. But there was no control as far as like the events, and it was continuous. After Sleep No More, whoever owned it, the same thing. Massive groups of people loitering in the street all hours of the night, and then the litter and the trash and the chaos. It's like 27th Street is not Club Row anymore. So I'm gonna leave it with that. Thank you for the time. Hard no.
Okay, so your building is
right next door. We're the neighbor.
And it's commercial condos. Is that what it is?
It's commercial condos.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next, we have Christian.
Hi, folks. My name is Christian Palomares. I'm a general manager. I've worked on recent Broadway shows, Our Town, Glengarry Glen Ross. I'm a producer of Oh Mary on Broadway. I'm currently the general manager and one of the producers of Heat Rivalry Parody, which is on inside of the Culture Club. We are a performing arts musical show. I completely hear the community board concerns. I completely hear the community's concerns about having a bad neighbor in the space. But I think what I'm hearing from the plans from Matt and from Harlan and from this new team, and what we're bringing in with our new show, is a true performing arts space, a space that's really going to serve and be a theater venue. I work again on Broadway and off Broadway. We are really, really, really struggling to come back from the pandemic. The number of theaters that have gone down and over since the end of the pandemic has tripled. We're seeing huge turnover of theater spaces turning into commercial venues that are no longer anything to do with theater. And what I'm really trying to support here and really hoping that happens in this building is a true fresh life of theater in Chelsea, and trying to bring in theater. Again, we are a show that has performances at 7:30 on the weekends, 7:30 during the weekdays, 5 and 8:30 p.m. on the weekends. This is a real show that's coming in, and it started performances tonight. We are just looking for ways to make sure patrons can get a commensurate experience of what they would get at a different theater. I think that's the key thing is here. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Ellie, was that it?
No, the last person we have is Scott.
Okay.
Hi there. I'm Scott McCormack. I live across the street, and my neighbor, Kevin McDonald, is here as well, who is across the street. And we are opposed to this. I think what the previous speaker just highlighted sounds wonderful. A show that's at 8:30. Again, please remind everyone this application is for 4 a.m. And the gentleman who was speaking in the beginning, representing the developers, was talking about, oh, don't worry, it won't be a 7th floor nightclub, because in floors 3 and higher, we will close earlier. But there's the basement, the 1st floor, and the 2nd floor. Those have an occupancy of 1,200 people. They are open until 4 in the morning. They are music. The application states openly that they will have outside promoters regularly. The lawyer representing them said they weren't going to have promoters, but it's in their application. And there was no mention again of what's going to happen in the basement, the 1st and the 2nd floor. And this could be mini Twilos, which, as everyone has said, was an absolute nightmare. The traffic on 10th Avenue from Marquee is just unreal. They've had to block off the whole bike lane, everything there. And then if you extend that down our street, people are parked. It's 4 lanes in theory, as Keith mentioned, but 2 lanes are blocked off from cars. The 2 lanes in the middle are never wide enough for 2 cars on a good day. The honking, I'm looking directly across at the Future nightclub right now as I speak to you out my window. I have kids. There's a residential building going right next door. And I just want to add that the building we live in was actually developed by Centaur, that is trying to open this nightclub right across the street. They are very aware of the residents of this building, of the building next door, and all along. This is a residential street, as is 28th Street. So we ask you to please take our quality of life into consideration. And the last thing is just mentioning the Roof Restaurant till 1 a.m. As you know, the former Hotel Selena, that's now the has changed its name for the 3rd time, is beyond a nightmare that they use, and over and over. And to have another restaurant that's going to have music, you just turn down music. Everyone who talked today, you turn down outdoor music because you don't want people talking over music. They are directly at our bedrooms, this rooftop restaurant with music until 1 in the morning. So I ask you to please hold the same standard that you did for these other applicants as well. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so my sense is we have 3 big issues, and I'm not sure how we resolve them tonight without more trying to get the community involved here. I think the middle part of the building seems to be fine. Floors 3 to 6. It's combined hours. It's confined hours wise. It's combined what's going on there. I think, as you've heard, it's not just you. Roofs and backyards make us very concerned. So I think the roof is an issue. I think traffic's a big issue. And then I think what is going on in the bottom 2 floors is an issue. As I understand it, they have an incoming show that's going to be seated patrons of, I don't know, about 300 person capacity that is going to run early in the evening as a theatrical production. But then they do want to stay open to morph into some kind of nightclub with a capacity fill of what, about 300 people on each floor?
Yeah, that's right. 200 and 400.
So about 600.
I'm sorry, 300 and 400.
So about 700
Yeah.
people.
That's the cellar and the ground.
Oh.
Yeah. So I think those are the issues. It's the bottom, what's happening in the bottom two floors and how late it's happening, what's going on the roof, and then traffic.
What can I?
So thinking about the structure, what you just said, is like, is there a way to split this license in multiple pieces? Because I think we have an animal here which has different shapes, and we can't control any of that, right? And if we were going to say there is a license which is for floor, you know, I don't know, second?
No, it's third through six.
Third to six. I don't think there would be a
Correct.
big issue.
Right.
And maybe if we had that license approved, and then they can go and do their first show or whatever, then that's fine, but they can come back for downstairs.
Well, I
Nobody's
might even go further and say downstairs till midnight or something for the show. I mean, I don't think the show is what's going to bother anyone. It's what's going to happen after the show.
Yeah, but I mean, if you can, I mean, as far as the SLA, if we have a real license, it's for a location, right? And so having the floors well identified is, you know, and if they want to do a one-off downstairs, that's a separate issue. I mean, this is, I can't control that, but at least for the 3 or 4 floors that we are all in agreement for the arts and for this and that, then that's fine.
But I also think if we could agree, and I'm not saying they will agree to this, I would think if we could agree that the bottom floor is also going to be a performance space that will close at midnight or 1 or something.
Sure. But then you get into the issue of volume and traffic.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
So I think I was trying to say, if you do the 3, 4 floors, you are reducing the volume, you are reducing the traffic, and it's all for the performance, and you don't have all the other issues adjacent to the other.
But it would still be, bottom floor would still be a performance, presumably staggered.
The issue with that is though, is if they decide to do a one-off, there's probably less repercussions against their liquor license as if we were to give them what Frank suggests, having like a earlier closing on the bottom floor.
But I would do a separate license though, don't you? I mean,
I'm not sure.
Can I just speak up that, yeah, we can't do that, but this it won't. Based on the way the building is laid out, based on legalities of how the entities operate, it can't be subdivided.
Okay.
So I think.
So what would you do for downstairs?
I mean, well, again, I'm not saying what I advocate here, but I'm saying one solution would be bring downstairs more in line with what's happening on the real street of thought.
You have to rethink this first.
Right, but which would be, and as I said, they do have a show planned for there now in a couple months or whatever. I mean, it's been publicly announced, so it's not.
That's not our problem.
No. I'm saying so. It's legitimately going to happen. I don't think it's.
Yeah, but we can't structure the approval based on one show that they have.
Well, no, but we can structure the hours to be around the show, not a nightclub.
And what about the volume of people? This is too many people.
I think shows are limited.
Yeah, the shows are seated at tables.
What is it? How many is that?
340.
340 is enormous.
Is that what was Sleep No More?
Yeah, Sleep No More had.
Yeah, if it's all staggered.
Yeah.
Then
there was Sleep No More.
No, but they are talking 340.
There was the
just for that
restaurant on the
event,
top
right?
and then the roof.
Yeah.
It's
Wait. They are talking about 340 just for that one event.
Right,
Not
they're
in all the
staggered.
floors. No,
No, it's what you're saying the same thing. Each floor has a different capacity. Ground floor, where this first show would be, is 350. Third floor, fourth floor, fifth floor have different shows with different capacities.
Right.
But they're gonna come and go at slightly different times. They're gonna not start at the same time. They won't they won't last as long. And part of the design is to let people enter and exit through a bar.
I understand that. But
I mean, now Sleep No More took what was it, probably like 800 people a night?
Mhm.
At least, and I think they kept increasing the numbers.
Yeah.
But I think it was like 200 people every half
It
hour.
was staggered.
May I say a few things about the comments that have been said?
Well, yeah, but let's figure out if, I don't want to spend another hour on this tonight. I think if you want to go much beyond what Christine and I were talking about, you need more time with us and with the communities.
But no one seemed to indicate that the outreach efforts, we need more time.
Well, people are, okay, it is very clear people are going to object to the notion of a nightclub, a 4 a.m. nightclub in the bottom two floors. If you want to pursue that, I think you either have to try to convince the community it's not going to be a problem, rethink the closing hours or something. I don't think it's going to fly with the opposition we're seeing tonight.
Right. I agree with the sentiment. I just don't know if people are opposed, they're opposed. There is 30 days going to change anything about it. We're obviously willing to enter into good faith conversation about it, but if it's just a blanket objection to it, then I don't think.
Well, do you have any, I guess the question, do you have any flexibility?
Well, yes, we do. That's
capacity or the
why I wanted
hours?
to make
Yeah.
this comment.
Okay.
So,
And what's happening on the first 2 floors? Because that seems to be a repetitive question. Or and the basement, I heard, but I'm not sure. I heard both.
We entered into an agreement with Duncan Sheet.
Can you stand up?
Sorry. Hi, we entered into an agreement with Duncan Sheet, who's a Grammy and Tony Award winner, planning on opening Memoirs of Amherst Gentleman, a Broadway show on the ground and first floor. On the second floor, we're discussing opening a La La Land bar.
I think we are not communicating.
Yeah.
We need to create the framework, not an event by event discussion. So we don't care in a sense what you got as an event. We need to say, are you going to close at 1 o'clock at night? And are you going to limit the people to, I don't know, 350 for the lowest floors? Let's put those things on the table and see whether that's something that you could entertain.
Okay, the question is not the show. It's,
Right.
The show will presumably be over no later than, I don't know, 11:30, maybe even midnight. What happens, if anything, after that, both for this show and in the future?
For any shows in the future.
Let him speak.
Yes.
Thank you. A lot was just said. There are many different comments, and I'm going to try my best to touch on most, although Frank, you summed it up well with a few main concerns. But before I get to that, I just do want to address the whole promoters thing. We submitted a revised application questionnaire to this committee. Nellie, who works for the committee, was out sick today, and so wasn't able to circulate it in time. And so the revised packet stipulates to no third-party promoters. So I just want to clear that up for the record. This will be, as I stated in the beginning, this will be fully run in-house by this experienced operating team, which is the team that ran Sleep No More, as well as the Oberon team, which is running the new museum. A really experienced food and beverage team. The first and second floors, by no means were we trying to leave it out, dust it over, skip over it. As I said in my remarks, I had to kind of go quickly through the floors just because we knew this was going to eat up so much time. But we are happy to discuss the first and second floors and the cellar floor. That is just as much a part of this space as the rest of the space. Someone mentioned that culture doesn't go until 4 a.m. I would disagree with that. Culture does in fact go until 4 a.m. And you need, in order to be able to operate these off-Broadway shows and subsidize the arts, you need some sort of revenue stream. You need to be able to have people purchase drinks and food in later hours. That is what gives us the ability to run these incredible shows that we're really trying to bring back to the neighborhood. As to the roof, again,
let's stick with the ground two floors.
Sure.
So what, if anything, can you live with on those floors other than 4 a.m.?
So it's the cellar and the ground floor that are, as for the stacking plan, kind of lumped together. Right. That's what we'd be happy to go down to 2 a.m. if that is what appeases the board. That is already a huge jump from where it was with Sleep No More. So,
Okay.
And that's a nightclub?
It's a cultural event space. It will have DJs at times. It will have programming at times. There will be dancing. I'm not denying that.
But it's 2 a.m. Okay.
7 days a week though.
And as we mentioned earlier, the music will be ending earlier. So originally it was 4 a.m. with music ending at 2. So if you want to do 2 with music ending at 1, we're happy to be flexible. We really are trying to find compromise here. And I think what sometimes gets lost in this process is that this process is about compromise. I mean, without having a permanent liquor license here, everyone has seen what can possibly happen. We don't want to have to go to option 2, which is one-day event permits that are completely ungoverned. I mean, this is the opportunity to find mechanisms to quell concerns and put them in place so that everyone can be happy.
I'm sorry, but did you just say, that's like holding the neighborhood hostage?
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
that feels like a threat, Max.
I don't.
I'm sorry. We're gonna let you talk in an orderly fashion. You don't have
I'm to be trusting the talk. But I need to see full amount.
On the second floor,
Blood never.
292, what is that floor? I forgot that.
The second floor is basically the lobby.
It's what?
Sorry, I got to interrupt that. It's the lobby for the shows on 3 through.
So nothing really happened.
No, there's a bar down there and there's food and beverage down there.
Right,
So people,
but not the show or not dancing.
there might be a show there.
You
as
said La La
Matt
Land,
mentioned.
yeah?
Yeah, they're working to potentially.
But
it
not-
would be it wouldn't be a show. It would be a La La Land themed bar.
Okay, but no dancing, not the. Right?
No, there's dancing. in there.
Yeah, I think that like my personal perspective is that this is not, we don't know what's happening on each floor yet. Like it feels very fluid, and maybe it is and maybe it isn't, but we want to keep the option open until 4 a.m. on every floor, and therefore it could become a 7-floor nightclub. So
a couple things, Carrie. I think they said it would never be combined into one event at one time. And second, I think the latest now is 2 a.m.
2 a.m. on the cellar and ground floor, and 1 a.m. 3 through 5. So that should quell that concern about a 7th-floor nightclub.
Well, it's still very late in a big space, but
I mean, also when you say, Max, that you it's like staggered.
Phil,
Oh, I'm so
Phil.
sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, Phil. When you say it's staggered, is that a half an hour? Is that 2 hours? Like, what does that mean? I guess I feel like I'm missing details.
I mean, the ending times for the shows haven't been finalized yet, but it can be whatever this committee prefers as far as staggering. That's an easy detail to flesh out. A show ending on the hour as opposed to every half hour. That's an easy thing to stipulate.
right. But as Christine's point is, whatever we say about these shows, your license is going to keep getting renewed. So we need a framework that everyone can live with. This show may run 5 years, it may run 5 weeks.
Of course.
So we don't know what the next show is going to be.
So the whole goal was to get back to where Sleep No More was and then reduce it a little bit, because we understand that over the last year there have been concerns that are legitimate. So that's what we've done. We came in with nothing more than Sleep No More, and we have since made significant reductions on the hours. I mean, is there any sort of compromise or middle ground that we can find?
Well, let's talk about the occupancy. I mean, the first 2 floors, 396, 328, do you have any room to do a reduced occupancy there? It's very big.
I'd have to discuss with these guys about it.
Okay.
I mean, that is,
it.
yeah.
And then,
Yeah, I think the sticking points are I could live with the 2 a.m. down there with smaller capacity, and then I have roof issues.
and no roof. That's
What?
And no roof.
And no roof.
I mean, it does also seem clearly like there needs to be a lot of more community conversation. So delaying doesn't seem like worse.
Okay, yeah, I mean, What?
They're against it.
Yeah,
But the community told us they are against it. Right? So I mean, just, it's on the table, I guess.
Well, what they, see, the problem is these discussions that happen. I mean, can they live with a 2 a.m. Well, I mean, the building across the street has a condo board. And, you know, presumably they could organize some meeting where this could be worked out. I think we don't know enough about, you know, what the entire, you know, I mean, obviously there are concerned residents there. We don't know if there's something in between they can live with or not.
Right.
And since our first meeting 6 weeks ago, we've been trying to make this more and more concrete, and we've made, believe it or not, significant progress from what we heard 6 weeks ago. But I realize it's still somewhat ephemeral.
It's very mushy.
And we're going uphill from the ill-managed events from Halloween and New Year's.
people, the community wants the cultural aspect of it.
Right,
Do not
but-
want the nightclub.
But their problem is,
Out.
right, but the issue is, and I think the applicant's point is right, in this climate, something's got to support the culture. Sleep No More had, you know, live entertainment in a bar that stayed open much later than the performances. They had the roof. They had a separate restaurant on the 6th floor. I mean, there were a lot of ancillary activities that kept the theater piece going. And I think we have to recognize that they probably need something like that. And it's balancing that. That's the question, though. What do you think about, I mean, believe me, I've been living with this for 6 weeks too. What do you think of another month coming back?
I'd really rather hash it out tonight. I mean, every day that goes by is tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands.
Well,
okay,
did you confer about the capacity or?
We were speaking about the hours, not the capacity. We're happy to come down a little bit on the hours. We've already come down a ton.
Down 2 a.m. or lower than 2?
Happy to do midnight Sunday to Wednesday, and 2 a.m. on Thursday to Saturday. I mean, that at this point
so 1 a.m. Thursday. What did you say? 1 a.m.
No, we said midnight Sunday to Wednesday,
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
and then Thursday.
Starting with the weekends. So Thursday to Saturday is 1 a.m.
2
a.m.
And then midnight Sunday to Wednesday.
And that would be for the cellar and the first floor.
For everything.
And no, they already went to 1 a.m. on the other floors.
That's right.
They already went to
That would be cellar 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And then
Can you do that on your license? I
Can
mean,
do it.
different hours?
They can do it by step.
Yeah, do by step.
Oh.
So it would be cellar 1 and 2 would be those hours we just described.
And then the other
3 through 5 would be 1 a.m. as we came down, that we started with this meeting.
We could do midnight.
Okay, so
And
we
then-
can do midnight.
Midnight would
Okay.
be better.
And what about
Midnight.
6?
And then 6.
What's on the 6th floor?
That's the
Sixth
restaurant.
floor is dining.
Oh,
It's not the rooftop.
But it's completely indoors.
It's completely
Right, so
indoors.
And no,
One
and no
o'clock.
performance.
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
And then the roof remains the same that we asked for, and we're happy to agree.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
with the music
But it's
anyway.
discussed.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. All right, so I'm gonna summarize this because unfortunately I have to unavoidably leave. So I think I'm gonna summarize where we are on these floors, Wendy, and you folks to handle traffic in the room. So tell me if we're okay.
The capacity downstairs.
Yeah, tell me, and capacity downstairs.
Okay, so
Well, I'm not sure we need the capacity changed if they're changing the hours, but that's an open issue. What I have is, assuming you can deal with the other issues on the roof, except for private events, rooftop capacity will be limited to 10 tables with a total of 75 seats. Seated patrons only, no standing patrons will be permitted. Correct. There'll be no building-wide events where entire building is used for one event.
correct.
Floors 3 to 6 now will close no later than 1 a.m.
No,
Correct.
midnight.
Midnight and
No,
6.
no, that's the bottom.
No, midnight.
He said midnight.
Six
He said midnight. He said midnight.
6 would to be 1, and 3 through
So
5 would be
3,
midnight.
4, 5 is midnight.
No, 3, 4, 5.
Is midnight.
Yeah, we just came down.
Oh, okay.
3, 4, 5 is midnight, 6 is 1 o'clock.
Okay?
Thank you.
Good
memory.
You'll incorporate all the recommendations of the attached traffic and acoustic reports. And then the cellar and first floors will close midnight, Sunday to Wednesday, 2 a.m. Thursday to Saturday. Music stopping
half an hour earlier.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And that includes the second floor as well.
Yeah.
That's cellar first and second.
Yeah.
Music stopping half hour earlier. Okay, so I think what that leaves the open issues are capacity on the cellar and one.
And the roof.
And yeah, in my view, my vote on that is
So
with
the
the
roof
lower
is done.
numbers.
The roof is
Okay,
done.
but
It's at
it's
75.
go one at a time. So you gotta talk about the capacity. My view is with those shorter hours, I'd be fine with the capacity.
I would too.
But again, so you gotta discuss that, what's gonna happen on the roof, and then traffic. And then I think.
But the traffic is really, yeah.
Okay, but I think, Phil, you're okay with all of this?
Yes, we're all.
And then you got the three open.
We hope that people recognize the concessions.
I know, absolutely. I think you can give this, sorry to Georgia, I had no idea this was gonna take so long, but it's sort of unavoidable. Yeah, the one thing I want to remind everyone before we leave, there's no July meeting, we're gonna meet twice in June.
June 30th. So it'll be June 9th and June 30th.
Yeah, and we'll remind you, but just to. All right, I will try to dial in while I'm in transit, but other than that. And then you just turn this off and lock it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
All right, so we said capacity, group and traffic.
capacity, let's talk.
Capacity. It seemed to me that people sort of echoed Frank's sentiment, which we would also echo, which is since we just came down so drastically on the hours, we have to be able to fund this project somehow. We ask that we can keep the capacity as is. Again, it's not one 7th floor nightclub, so it's not 1,700 people won't all be working together and exiting the same time, coming in at the same time. If it's 100 per floor.
Are you open to stagger the closing and the leaving on the basement and the ground floor? Okay.
Well, I think that would, I mean, correct me wrong, as I understand it, and again, we're not talking about permanently, but there is a show going in there, which will have a starting.
Yeah, I'm talking about permanent.
A starting and an ending time.
I'm talking permanently. When it's a club and everybody's going.
Well, I think the thinking is they'd always like to have a show, and the club would be the couple hours afterwards. Right?
That's right. And just to answer the staggering question, the whole idea behind ending the music early is to create a natural stagger. Is that so when music ends, some people leave right away, some people finish their drink, some people finish their conversation, and it slowly disperses people out as opposed to music off, lights on.
So what did we discuss about the
music getting half an hour early.
Half an hour, could we make it 1 hour so there is more?
Well, they've already reduced the leaving time, the closing times to
Midnight and 2.
midnight and 2.
No, this is a
4
different
hours.
issue. I'm talking about, how people are living. This is linked to traffic. The
Right.
more you can
Yeah.
spread over, the better you are. So I don't see, I
The
would
early-
prefer having a 1 hour staggering.
It's the earlier you end the music, the earlier people leave, and it basically just cutting into the hours even further.
I think a half an hour is fine.
I think so too. And don't forget, if there's a show, we're only talking about 1 to 3 hours probably of the place even being open. And some people are gonna leave after the show.
Of course, the bulk.
Not everyone's gonna hang around.
In fact, we haven't even gotten into the GZA studies yet, but the findings of the traffic study, among many other sophisticated findings, were that the peak departure hours at this space based on the programming are 10 to 11 p.m. And that's the study with the proposed hours of 4 a.m. that we originally started with. So the peak hours of departure are 10 to 11. It's not 3 to 4.
But we keep talking about everything. I'm just talking about the basement and the ground floor when it's a club. This is the context. It's not a show, it's not this and that. People are coming, dancing, drinking, and leaving, right? So that's my point. My point is that these people, that group of people, I'd like to see them leaving earlier.
Well, they are leaving earlier. They're now leaving.
No,
at
they are
midnight,
leaving,
and
spreading over.
But if the music ends an hour earlier and that's the signal for people to leave, you're gonna get that exodus all at that time anyway.
Right.
You know, I think that's the challenge. Like, it'd be one thing if it was like, it's 14 rooms.
I don't
and-
agree with any of you, but that's okay. I would just
I'm
deny it.
okay
I
with
just
it.
deny it.
That's for now the capacity issue, and we can certainly revisit.
No, we can't. You know that.
Why can't we?
Because once the thing is approved, you are not going to come back and reduce.
No, I'm saying revisit at this meeting. If you want to
Well,
continue
no, I
the
mean,
conversation.
I think we gotta move on. So I think from a capacity perspective, have a straw poll from the committee. Are people comfortable?
I'm
with
good
that?
with the capacity.
Yes.
Good with the capacity, closing hours and that.
Yeah,
Same.
same.
So then we'll move.
I mean, those.
And then the rooftop
To the
is a yes or no.
So the rooftop, what we
75.
propose, can I just say what we
No
propose
music.
and where we?
Sure.
We proposed
Yeah.
midnight during the week and 1 AM on weekends with music during that time. We're happy to stop the music at 11 PM each night. I mean, that is far earlier than what Sleep No More had. The sound study determined that it wouldn't be above the noise code, wouldn't be in violation, it would be in full compliance. That's with music going until 1 AM. And it's just background music for 75 seated diners. It's not a backyard with people, with residents overlooking. It's not a tunnel for the sound. It is diners on this rooftop. It's different. It's different, and in this case, this roof deserves to be looked at a little differently than a backyard.
I'm still not.
I'm not comfortable. The neighbors.
That's where the complaints are coming from that other hotel.
Yeah.
Is the rooftop.
Oh, yeah.
So, I'm comfortable with the rooftop, I'm just not
that's-
comfortable with music.
But that's not where the
until that
complaints
meeting.
came from Signal.
But, you know,
Yes, so just to be clear, the complaints on the hotel rooftop are actually about a daytime. The hotel stipulated to background music only. What they are doing, despite Jesse's best efforts over the past year, has been having these wild daytime parties that they call like music listening parties or something, but the music's loud, people are dancing, people are yelling, and it's during the day. But it is not, no one is sitting down, which it is supposed to be. It's no one's idea of background music. I mean, it's kind of a point where Jesse actually sent an administrative letter to the SLA just asking them to enforce the steps, because we had a series of meetings with these people and they were, just uncooperative.
I would
I'd
ask.
be comfortable with music till 10 and then 11. Just start.
Just to ask,
You know, like,
sorry.
We'll do that for you guys.
Just to ask
All right,
about
let's
Sleep
move.
No More on the roof, there were no complaints about that, right? Am I hearing that right? Like, and so,
I mean, I can't say absolutely.
We heard none at the time, whether, I don't think residents were saying there was a problem then, but.
I mean, my recollection is that it was actually really lovely up on that roof. So I don't know. I'm just wondering if we're making a problem out of the one thing that actually wasn't a problem.
Well, particularly with the 75 capacity, which it's a big rooftop.
Yeah, it's big.
Yeah, so 75 people, 75 seats and 10 tables is quite spread out.
They'll just agree to music ending at 10.
As an act of good faith, 10 and 11, we get
That
it.
sounds good for me.
Bingo.
I would be happy if they turned the music off an hour before, so, I mean, they're going
10,
more than an
11 is-
hour.
So 10, 11, you're certainly
But
okay.
I don't think there's an issue with the rooftop, there never was with Sleep No More.
And Phil, it's background music.
Background music, yeah. No,
Yes,
DJs,
it's
no
background
live
music.
If you're eating up there,
Yeah.
it's dining and
It's a
drinking.
restaurant.
it's
Restaurant.
quiet,
And
casual
everyone's seated.
talking.
When
Everyone's
it's
seated.
public events, everyone's seated.
Then traffic.
Okay.
Traffic.
Thanks, guys. Sorry to abandon you.
Yeah,
Don't forget you have that one other thing.
Um,
Yeah. Okay.
Insights.
concern. I know I want to have the traffic team speak to the traffic, but the gist of the study is, you know what? Kevin or Ethan, are you guys still with us?
No, we don't need to. Go.
I think the only thing that they can do for traffic is have people be picked up on time, dropped off on 10th
At
Avenue
11.
and 11th.
11th Avenue.
I see Kevin should already.
Not 10, but 11.
Can't do 10.
So I guess very quickly, that the summary would be from
Right.
the study, what is the recommendation?
Yeah, so Kevin, even though you have my name down there, can you speak quickly to the recommendation?
Yeah, hi, I'm Kevin Williamson, Principal Planner at GZA. So on the page 24 of the traffic study, not only did we study the traffic, we gave an operational protocol, and particularly to address comments I think that Stella and Keith made, you know, with the concern with honking, with the double parking. We're proposing for basically the max, you know, operational event or regular operational event that 5 staff are positioned on the street, on the corridor, with a coordinator, all coordinated via walkie-talkies. And these people are not responsible for entry. They're not the event manager. They're literally for corridor management, placed along the linear frontage from 10th to 11th and positioned in front of the site as well to make sure that there's no double parking, that for hire vehicles do not stop in a light for hours waiting for a fare, and also to assure that vehicles move expeditiously from the frontage in and out. So we're literally, you know, like what I've heard that's improperly managed in the past. And the only way, you know, to manage this reasonably, prevent drunken people from wandering the corridors, to manage the street. And the applicant has committed to this. We went over these rules, and you know, I think if you can put a stipulation in that follows the recommendations for the staffing plan, then we'll be able to manage effectively, you know, to make sure that traffic moves well along this corridor, and that nuisances that have been, you know, seen in the past operations can be dealt with.
Thank you, Kevin.
I have a question about that. So you say it's for 11 o'clock. What about 2 o'clock?
He said that study was conducted for the absolute highest capacity at the latest hours. The study was done for 4 a.m. and before.
No, but he said that the recommendation was to have people set up at 11 o'clock. Is that what you're saying? So your operational plan applies to what hours? We can't hear you. You're on mute.
So it'll be all
Yes.
during all departure peaks. So it'd be at the 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. peak, as well as the departure peak that was, you know, obviously things have changed because we modeled it with the previous hours. But if your departure period is at 2, from 1 o'clock to 2:30 or 3 o'clock in the morning, we would staff this area. And I want to say also, these types of plans, they're not static. You know, so if different needs are identified, one of the things that the applicant has committed to is doing an annual or biannual report to the community board related to these observations. Anyway, it's around the peak departure. So if you're adjusting the peak departure for the bottom floors, we would man a whole 2-hour period to cover that duration when people would depart.
So what we have done in other situations is ask the notify Uber to have a pickup at the end of the street. So not 10th Avenue, because obviously there is an issue, but at 11th Avenue. So to have them drop off and pick up all the Uber and communicate that. Is that
So the
something
only
we can
thing
do?
the only thing I would say to that is you need to make sure you have available signed curb space. Directly in front of the 100 feet, linear feet in front of the facility is a no standing zone, which assures that lane is clear and also allows for expeditious arrival and departure. So that the signage on the rest of the street is a little bit different than that.
Well,
now, obviously,
we would help you get the signage on 11th Avenue.
Oh, so I mean, if
I have a comment to your comment, which is if you're just pushing the vehicle drop off and pickup zone down the block, doesn't that just make the loitering of vehicles a problem for the people who live down the block and then on 11th Avenue? And then B, what that leads to is people then walking down the block and being noisy as they walk, as opposed to getting right into their vehicle and departing.
Well, a little bit of yes, both of that, but this is what has been done and was the last resort with some other clubs where we couldn't, sort it out.
But I don't see that is a solution to the issue.
Okay.
I think them having all those people out there at peak times should work.
Yeah, the staffing is going to be tenfold more than
I think it's very good. I don't think it will work when you have double parked limos, etc. I mean, you have seen an airport, whatever. It just doesn't work.
So and your hours.
But well,
right.
That's fine.
They're going to keep the 11th Avenue does get busy.
Yeah, it
late
does.
at night, especially coming out of Hudson Yards.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
Then it's going to be all on 27th Street.
And
with staff.
Adequately staffed. Like as Kevin said, people whose sole job is to manage foot and vehicle traffic. They're not event managers, they're not GMs, they are the traffic people.
Phil, if I may, there will never be the level of exodus that's happened with Statham for 15 years because there are so many different uses involved.
No, there's so much. We've got that.
Thanks.
All right, so that's the end of our last three items of capacity, route, and traffic, which potentially brings us to the end of the discussion for that robust topic. I will open it up. Any last comments?
I would make a motion.
And your motion would be to
Exactly.
approve with all of the steps that Frank outlined, which I can sort of summarize. Writing, in addition to like the changes in hours and then the discussion we just had. So let me do my best here to summarize again, just so everyone's on the same page. Although Phil, he has a note here that says, except for private events, the rooftop capacity will be limited to 10 tables.
Yeah, if there's the capacity, the legal capacity is 243, I believe. And so if there's a private dinner where more tables need to be added, then that's what the capacity allows. But that would be for private buyouts only of the restaurant space.
So now we have 240 people on the roof.
The music still stops early and their hours are still early and they're all seated, no one's standing, there's no bar.
This is a restaurant and a license that is open to the public. We can't close it off for private events that often. It's a very infrequent occurrence.
But why would you need additional
It's
space
just-
for private events? You have already the whole building.
For more diners, if there's a buyout. As Frank
But on the
mentioned,
6th floor, you have a
some people want to dine on the roof.
Yeah, I don't know why we would approve more people on the roof. That's, this is.
I guess you're saying the risk could be they have a special event, make a claim.
Well, every time you have a special event, it's going to be a lot more people and a lot more notes.
But again, no one would ever, it's not standing room, it's seated dining only.
You can limit the special event capacity.
Can't we just keep the same capacity?
Right.
Whether it's a special event or a regular night?
No, that's a little, 120?
No, yeah,
For special event?
if you do an event, then you need to add an extra.
How about, it's at 243, that's the legal max, what if it was 150? Again,
So how many special events are you going to do per year? Because if it's 150 and it's every day,
well, it's not every.
well, I'm just saying, we don't have any control over that.
Call it
10.
I was gonna say 24, which, is an average of two a month, but,
So
Christmas
then
time, you have 4, and then January.
What amounts the neighbors are going to keep 250
10 is,
people.
we usually do.
Hold on, can the applicant say something to this?
1,200 people in the building. It's not like, generally we say, oh, you have a small roof and you can do a party from time to time and you need more people. The whole building is dedicated to do special everything.
there are different functions and programs.
I
throughout
understand what you're saying, but
So-
this doesn't.
I mean, I would feel comfortable limiting the special events on the roof to 10 a year.
Can the applicant speak to this real quick?
Go ahead.
Matt? We're doing our best to compromise everywhere that we can. We cut our hours in half. We cut our revenue by over 35% this meeting. When we talk about dining on the roof, we want to be able to have weddings. We want to be able to have gala events that are for theater openings.
They get loud.
Like, none of those will be the party part of the wedding, but they will be the dining part. We want to be able to have the capacity to seat people that are in the show to have a dinner afterwards. So typically speaking, it would be smaller, but we'd like to be able to dine with people there. We want to limit it, it's never going to be 200 and whatever the legal capacity is, because that's for standing, we're not going to do it. So we'd be happy to limit the capacity and limit the character of the events and say that there will never be music and say that, like, whatever it is that would make you feel comfortable, but you're just literally like just taking money out of our pockets for, not sure what, like, there'll be dining up there. There won't be music. It's only for dining.
And it's worth mentioning that the occupancy of 243 was the occupancy for Sleep No More, which is what we've already determined at this meeting to not have been a problem. And that was with standing room up there. That was a full-fledged bar up there. We're now committing to seated dining only. I mean, it wasn't the problem that we're, as I think Carrie mentioned, we're creating a problem that wasn't there.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I do go back to that this has been for many years.
It's always fine.
Was a restaurant bar, really. I mean, you could just go up there and have drinks and walk around. And we haven't heard that as being a significant issue or an issue at all. I did for the community. I think, but I think the issue we're clearly dealing with is obviously the lack of trust, and so it's how to find that balance with the community right now. So I don't know, I think we've got to come to a capacity number we're comfortable with, and we've got to come to a number of events, right? Because I think we are concerned about a slippery slope.
Yeah.
Clearly hearing. And it feels arbitrary, but it's like we've got to have some guardrails because of just the community.
The guardrails also include the music ending earlier, which we've already seen as well.
For sure, but getting a lot of people's voices, I mean, that's its own left, yeah. So in that capacity. So I think we know the capacity of the roof in general is 240. We don't.
He said 150.
He said 150.
But how many events a year?
What about a stipulated amount of events? If there's no problem the first year, you can go up to another.
You can always
come back.
Before we.
Yeah, you could go back. And if there are no complaints about your rooftop,
And you'll be the next cinema, everyone will love you.
it'll be a 5-minute, it'll be a 5-minute thing.
Give it to you, Gloria.
We're gonna have to hold you to that 5-minute.
Yeah, I mean, if you come back and the roof is quiet, no one's gonna say.
I mean, today, with the special event permits today, we did 12, so we'd like to at least 12.
Okay,
Okay, I had asked for 24, that's 2 a month.
that's too much. Just don't.
Out of 365 days.
What is the difference in the capacity whether it's a special event?
We said you need
75 every day.
It's a different event. So we are saying this is one capacity, and then we have all these exceptions, which are making that the new
So
thing is
12
this
and
way.
150 for special
And meet
events.
in the middle at 16.
No, 12.
Start with 12, we never do that many.
All right.
Because the reality too is that no one's doing this in December or January. It's too cold, right? So it's like the 12 are going to be consolidated within 6 to 9 months anyway. So let's start with 12, and you can always come back.
Mhm.
Right.
12 and
That's a
150.
good one.
12 and 150. It's already June, so.
Okay. All right, so there'll be no building-wide events that are tied for the entire building, tied to one single event. Floors, the cellar first and second are closing Sunday through Wednesday at midnight, Thursday to Saturday at 2 a.m.
1.
Just 1 a.m.
I think so.
Wait, can you just run it over really quickly again?
I thought it was 2 and
I thought
music
it
was
was-
ending at 1.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
I need
Music
30
was
minutes
ending
early.
at 1.
Cellar through
1:30.
two.
Cellar through
Now it's
2.
Our
Right.
12 a.m. during the week.
Yeah, midnight, Sunday to Wednesday, Thursday through Saturday.
Music ends at 1:30.
Music ends at
Music ends,
1:30.
right,
It
half an
closes
hour
at
first.
2, right? Yeah. Okay, and then floors 3, 4, and 5. That was
We said
12, but that was
midnight.
until midnight.
Yeah.
What
The
about
sixth floor was
6, we
until
said
1,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and then the roof
And the roof we just said was 12 and
was,
1 with
10 and
music
11.
being 10 and 11.
that's right.
75 normal capacity, 150 special events, 12 a year.
Sorry,
That is
can
my
you
motion.
can you just repeat the roof hours again?
Yep, so that's midnight and 1, but the background music ends at 10 and 11.
I mean, our normal times for the roof is 11 o'clock, right?
But that is my motion.
Yes.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you.
Hi. Welcome to, hold on. Yeah. All right, applicant, the acoustic report, the traffic report. Talked about capacity, we talked about capacity. I think that's it. That's
been
motion.
seconded.
We have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
All right, all those opposed? Okay. No one's abstaining, all right. That passes. Thank you very much.
Thank you
for
all
your
very much.
collaboration.
I will hear your nighttime people wander by.
I'm going to you.
We have one more agenda item.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
but this is up to us, how long do you take with this?
Yeah, I think all this.
Agenda item 21 was government plans for expanding the SLA licensing during the 2026 World Cup. And we had a public hearing about this at full board. Reality is, for those who've done reading on it, it's an order, like, there isn't much or there's in fact nothing we can do.
Yeah.
But we did want to open it up to the committee if there was any discussion that we wanted to have about it.
I think it's poorly planned out, and there's nothing we can do. I read everything I could. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I think it's,
Yeah.
No, it's just happening.
Oh, it's just
it's
happening.
just opening, like if they had to, for license, they open a stall.
And even, I think there's something with people who don't have a license, they can extend it to them. People with a license.
Like I can go out.
Yeah,
and bar,
and yes, and
I get sponsored.
we can sponsor you.
Oh, so nice.
Yeah, so we can all have alcohol on our blocks.
I don't think it's going to be that bad.
I don't think so either, because not many people are coming.
Not
I mean, my
many
whole
people
family
actually do
canceled.
it.
Did you read the?
Did you,
Yeah.
yes,
Well,
exactly.
I mean, no one's talking anymore, so it doesn't matter.
My family
And
used to come.
And Frank did mention we've not seen any.
It's mostly the
board will be notified.
Or it's
there's
very
something to do.
confusing, so all the applicants are going to be confused. Right. I think it's going to apply mostly to people which have a plaza or something, and then they want to.
Rockefeller
you know,
Center.
Right, they want to serve alcohol on the plaza.
Thinking that it's the park.
And it's limited to the hours of the games, which, because they're staged, are.
No, we have sometimes 2 games a night, so they'll do a 9 PM and an 11 PM.
Right, but it's not like it's in like Qatar and it's to start.
No, it'll be ending at,
Yeah.
11 or 2
So I don't think
AM.
it's going to be the same.
I don't think it's gonna be a huge deal, because my family, the ones that were coming aren't coming for stuff.
Melanie, do we
And I
have
have
any
tickets
hands
to
raised
the
online,
games.
since this was on the agenda?
No, there's no one.
No one.
All right.
All right, then.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Fantastic, thank you all very much.
Bye, bye.
Carrie, thank you so much, we'll miss you.
Goodbye, BLP. Thank you.
You remember when
And you know what, Wendy, I've reconsidered the idea of bringing this to ACES because schools and alcohol liquor licenses probably are not a good idea.
Right.